let's welcome onto the field the Central Clarion Marching Band under the direction of Miss Sarah Dawson.
Everybody's like,
So when did he start?
Tonight, folks,
she came in Monday and just kind of said that
we are recognizing
and then
a former teacher, coach of Clarion High School.
I got an
We'll have the field games after the season. To start off, leaving a couple of individuals who will be speaking on behalf of Mr. Weiser. First one to speak will be State Representative
okay, we were at
Donna Overhead.
Yeah, you see him, don't you? He's a CL. Right, anyway, like I said, they want him in summer or something like that. And I called guys who were coaching my class that I called.
Who said you can't come home anymore? Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Clarion Area High School football field for the next 20 minutes. This is Dave Katis along with Randy Cathcart in a big night here at Clarion High School football field. Mr. Cathcart.
It's a great night. It's great to be back here. There's a large crowd tonight. The field looks awesome. All the new things that they've done here, if you haven't seen it, if you haven't been here, you need to get down here and see it.
We're just getting things started here. 19 years since the last high school football game was played on this facility, and it is just an outstanding facility. The beginning of the game is brought to you by McMillan's Carpet Outlet. They're rolling out the red carpet. And, Randy, we have State Representative Donna Obenlander here this evening for Larry Weiser's ceremony, Todd Macbeth, Dr. George White, and, of course, the man himself, Larry Weiser, who will be taking center stage here at about 6:48.
Yeah, it's good to see. Obviously it's nice to be back in this environment. It's a smaller environment, and I can't say enough about how the Clarion School Board, the administration, the faculty, the custodial staff, everybody has been working diligently on this field to get it ready for tonight. As a matter of fact, today, before junior high practice, I came down to look at the field, and the superintendent, Joe Jericho, was riding a mower, cutting the grass, getting everything ready. So it was all hands on deck. Kudos to everyone that's made this happen. It's a fantastic facility. My kids grew up here, playing here, and it's just awesome to be back.
Same thing. My kids had the same opportunity to play down here and be a part of it. And I'll tell you, as we talked about a little bit off air, the grass looks so good here. I know there's a lot of talk about turfing it next year, but geez, oh man, it looks fantastic. It looks like turf down there right now.
Well, we're pretty lucky. We've had a really good fall. We've had a lot of sun, a little bit of rain, and this is just a perfect night for football. It's a great environment. The field's phenomenal, and the turf's super.
Well, on top of it, as we go inside the game, sponsored by Brookfield Equipment, we have a great football game.
We do.
We have an excellent football game tonight with the Central Clarion Wildcats and the Port Allegany Gators. Both teams coming off a big win last week with Clarion defeating Brookville over there and Port Allegany with a big win up at Ridgeway, 44-0, I think. So we have two good football teams coming into this game. And
they couldn't be any more different. Clarion likes to spread you out. They like to spread the ball. They've got weapons all around them. Port Allegany lost a lot from last year's district championship team. They like to run the ball up the middle. They want to keep it close. They don't take a lot of chances, but they're saying, here we come, see if you can stop us. So it's going to be very interesting to see these two different styles attack each other.
Well, I got an opportunity to talk to Justin Bernowski, the head coach from Port Allegany, a little bit earlier this week, and he's very excited about his offensive line, which is returning, and he's got 4 kids that touch the ball an awful lot, from quarterbacks to slot receivers and everybody else that are sophomores, and they played their first game last week. So why don't we pause a little bit here and take a little bit of Donna Obenlander, the state representative for Clarion, and speaking a little bit about Coach Weiser.
The press box, taking video for Coach. He allowed me that opportunity. I had the opportunity to watch. Now have play. My son play for the. Awesome. And my daughter played and celebrate and to cheer these guys on for many years. And so it's really an honor and a privilege to know that the impact that this had on my family is just a small part of that. The impact that it had on many, many people, and the impact that you've had, Coach, on all of those hundreds of people over the years. It's just an honor to be able to be here this evening as we rededicate this part of our history. Get the chapter right here. Congratulations. Thank you for all that you've done in many years to really lift up. I'm good.
Donna Obenlander with a few comments to Larry Weiser, and crowd might cutting out a little bit, but Donna, I think anybody around Clarion knows Donna. She's a 1988 graduate of Clarion, and pretty big doings for him. So we get back to the game a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about Around the D9. Brought to you by MHY Family Services with some other good games tonight. Cottersburg is going to be at Bradford. Brookville will be at Struthers, Ohio. Brockway at DuBois is a big game. We're going to get some reports from one of our secretaries at the university. He's going to let me know what's happening there. Mike Kalinowski and Bob Dunkel are going to be down at Karn City for the Red Bank Karn City game. A game last night, Montauk over Elk County Catholic 34-14, Punxsutawney at Kane. St. Mary's with a big win over Ridgeway, 28-14. Clearfield is at Forest Hills. Union AC Valley at Keystone. West Branch at Bucktail. Cameron County versus Smethport. Otto Eldred at Sheffield. And Windbur's going to be at Kerwinsville. Speaking now is Mr. Todd Macbeth. He's got some comments for Coach Weiser, so let's take a little bit of his audio.
Many people. Here tonight. And Larry, I came to
actually, because I know Justin went to try and
and I met Larry, and he shared many events together. And Larry was a mentor. He was a leader for the community, not just for me. He led by example to his students, everybody that he encountered. I was so fortunate to meet him and have him be a mentor to me. And I would always wonder when I was doing things, what would Mr. Weiser do? And it got me through a lot of good times, and it was good to have Larry as my mentor. There have been a lot of changes. We're so happy to be here. And before I forget, I want to thank the Port Allegany team for giving us a little bit of time to host this tonight. So we thank Port Allegany. Thank you, Port. Coach Weiser.
Randy, we always talk about the governor's keys to the games, and Bob Dunkel's going to be doing his last broadcast tonight down at Karn City. But let's talk a little bit about your keys to the game and what do both teams need to do to try to make an impact on tonight's game.
All right, let's start with Port Allegany. As I said, Port Allegany likes to control the line of scrimmage, so obviously their key is they have to control the line of scrimmage. They have to move the ball on the ground. They haven't thrown the ball a whole lot this year, so they're going to depend on their ground game. They want to go ground and pound. Also, don't get caught up in all the emotions. This is a big emotional night for Central Clarion football, and having all the festivities that are happening before the game. Just don't get caught up in that. Keep in your mode, your regular routine. They need to move the ball consistently and keep the ball out of Central Clarion's hands. Central Clarion can't score if they don't have the ball. Now, on the other side of the ball, Central Clarion, I think they need to feed off this audience. They need to really come out strong. They need to score early. They need to force Port Allegany out of their ground and pound game and stop the run.
Good. Well, we're going to get an opportunity to hear a little bit of Dr. George White, who's been a part of the Clarion School District for a long time, coached a long time ago with everything. So let's tap into a couple of his comments.
That's not a good idea.
No, I know. I think before I about Coach Weiser here, I just want to make one comment to the board. If they really know, they would have blamed this after annualizer. 25 years of being the wife of a head football coach, a lot of work. Seriously, I've known Larry for 40 years, and I coached with him about a dozen years. And I was there when he took over head coach in 1988. And I coached some other places, and of course played football in high school. And when I first started coaching for Larry, he took over in 1988. I just saw things I'd never seen done in a football program before. For one thing, we had lesson plans for football. He didn't even have lesson plans for his history class. But we would have everything listed, what we were going to do, all based on things he'd seen in the game film, things he'd seen about the upcoming team. And every drill and everything we did was tailored toward that. And I won't say we always got off the field in time, but normally that kept us on task, and we got the kids off the field so they get home and do their homework. But the thing I admire most about coaching this year, he truly believed that every player, whether you're a starter, whether you're someone who spent a little more time watching from the sidelines, he wanted every one of his players to have a great experience playing football in Clarion High School. And I can tell you, I think if you surveyed most of the young men that have played football for him, they would tell you that those 3 years were some of the best of their lives. He did a great job. I was happy to coach with him, proud to have him as a friend. So congratulations, Coach Weiser. He really deserves this honor.
Randy, you're familiar with Dr. White, and I just know him from being on the sideline at some high school games and everything. So,
Yes.
First-class individual.
He's a great guy. Not only was he a teacher here at the district, he was also a high school principal and a superintendent here. So it's good to have him back.
Well, let's get some words from the man who the stadium's going to be named after in about 5 minutes here. Head coach of the Clarion Bobcats back then, Larry Weiser.
I've gone on a journey of 1,000 people, over hundreds of football players, people I've met in the community, maintenance people, media people, assistant coaches, and business people I've found that, you know, we had to get it with before camp, they put the money out. So this community, I want to say a little bit more about the history of this field, but I want to thank all these guys. This field never looked this way. We renovated it back in 1989. And I'm going to talk about that in 1972. those are the things that we tried this coaching staff over the years. But I want to go back to this field. I came here in '73. That's John Royce hired me. Thank God, John. I worked with Alex Hogg and late Paul Maurer and late Alex Hogg. And I came down here, and there wasn't much green grass out there. Got a chance to play a couple games up in college. My next big move came when I was able to become great officer. And one of the great memories I always have was the 1982 championship down at Red Bank. First 12 championship I experienced. And the entire field was full of Clarion fans that day. I grew up and I luckily got this job almost by accident in 1989. In fact, I coached my first game at Garden City. I wasn't even the head coach yet. But that team, which had one starter back, went down and the team had 7 starters back. And I would always remember our center Kirby Embry, who took on an all-state nose guard and did a heck of a job against that day. We got lights. It was always a dream to get lights on this football field. And between the band and the football boosters, and we were able to raise enough money. And then I can remember Ronald and our band director and I, we learned how to run a ditch winch around here to put the wiring in and so forth. And my coaching staff had an opportunity to dig up across the top there. Everyone had some, everybody kept saying, well, we wouldn't have a lot of people there. We played our first game against AC Valley, and I'm telling you what, it was rigged all around here just like it's looking here tonight. We crossed the front of that, and I'm hoping that comes from the big sign defense. Then when a guy by the name of Mr. Maxwell had the big D sign and the fence up there, and he'd be screaming and yelling all over that. I told you this is a journey of 1,000 people. I wish I could list every person that has helped me over the years and helped this program. It's all been about team. I had great coaches. I had great community support, great cheerleaders, statisticians. We even had on cowgirls, right? That gave the major players to walk to the sidelines and so forth. It's been a great experience for me. I can't personally amplify this whole thing. I can't believe this is what happened. But if I could ask one, Justin, I'm sorry over there, and I appreciate you guys doing this. Could I ask any of you players and parents, or whatever else, could you come out in the field here one more time so I could ask you 3 questions? We run out here real quick. And you guys are on the side here, would you please? Come on down, folks. Come on. Just right over there. Come on, guys. I want players, cheerleaders. Let's go, guys. When I see a Jericho come down here, you're one of the benefits of coaching at Clarion is I started out with Jerichos and I finished up with Jerichos. They were all over. They were rabbits, I'm telling you. Thank you, Coach. Let's go ask former player.
players.
Well, we knew that was going to come.
That was his signature call.
They have about 25, 30, 40 players down there and everything. So congratulations to Coach Weiser. From here on then,
Yeah,
it will be known as Larry Weiser Field.
it's awesome.
So that's a big, big honor. This is my second field naming. I was at the first field naming in Slippery Rock for George Mihalik, the head coach of Slippery Rock, when they named the field after him over there. So this is my second field naming, Larry Weiser Field at Clarion High School.
Great honor for him, and what a great night for him and his family. Kudos to him. Kudos to the administration for putting this together. Joe Carrico's Clarion Area School Board. Everybody that's been responsible for putting this thing together, getting this field ready. I mean, they've worked like dogs trying to get this thing ready, and there was, I think they just got the all the things hooked up this morning in the restrooms. The scoreboard at the last minute didn't work, so they were running around like crazy today getting everything ready. So it's been a great time so far, and I'm sure tonight's game is just a highlight.
Great references, Randy. I mean, yeah, some great, but a lot of memories down there among all those players and everything. Let's take a timeout for a little bit here. Regroup here. We're going to have about 8 minutes until kickoff, so we'll be back with you on exploreClarion.com right after this.
Hey, Julie, nice deck. Did you get that at Tio Nesta Builder Supply?
It's Tio Nesta Builder Supply, and yes, Dave, I did.
Wonder if they sell siding and roofing at Tio Nesta Builder Supply.
It's Tio Nesta, and yes, Tio Nesta Builder Supply has that too. Come on, Dave. You've never been there? They have 2 showrooms for anything home improvement. Mom got a custom kitchen there. Bill down the street got the materials for his garage. They have this awesome website, www.tionestabuilders.us. You can buy online. They really have everything for the home.
Wow, I'm heading over to Tio Nesta. I know. Tio Nesta Builders.
Tio Nesta Builder Supply Home Improvement Center, family owned and operated since 1958, with locations in Tio Nesta and Shippenville.
That sounds good. I'll check them out online at tionestabuilders.us.
Back at Larry Weiser Field on the campus here at Clarion High School. Dave Katis along with Randy Cathcart with you. About 6 minutes left until kickoff. This may go a little bit further. With all the players down the field, we're going to get some pictures taken. We have the Clarion Band. We've got to do the Star Spangled Banner yet and everything. But Randy's got keys to the game we talked to you about a little bit earlier. They're brought to you by Kale's Kitchen. Field conditions brought to you by Cousin Basil's Restaurant. 2 locations. And field conditions, Randy, just outstanding.
I think it's going to be a fast track tonight. The field, as we've mentioned before, it's in immaculate condition. From our perspective, it looks like turf. So I think it's going to benefit the Central Clarion Wildcats. But we'll see. It's a great facility right now, and it's a great to be a part of it.
Well, it's one of those things. You listen to college football an awful lot, and people that have those grass fields, if you have a fast team, you want to cut the grass really, really low. If you have a slow team, you want to keep that grass up pretty high. So looks pretty good. The Central Clarion Wildcats taking the field, and kudos to the Port Allegany Gators. Coach Bernoski sitting through that ceremony for about 20 minutes, and that's a pretty big thing. We're going to cut the ribbon now for the ceremony. I guess I jumped the gun a little bit calling it Coach Weiser Field. But with all the pomp and circumstance, I was overwhelmed by the emotion, basically.
Well, it's pretty neat. They have former coaches, players, cheerleaders, anybody that's been involved in the program on the field right now, and they're holding the ribbon. Larry and his family's in the middle of the field at the 40-yard line, and they're going to cut the ceremonial ribbon.
Yeah, I see a lot of people. Tyler Allen, actually, Mike Lapinto, my son John Katis is down there.
Yep.
Keith Shanicki, John Strop I see down there.
Yep.
Who else we got? You could pick out a few.
Yeah, I saw Greg Larson, Brad Larson.
Mark Wisner's down there.
Mark Wisner, Tommy Burley's there. Of course, Larry and his family are there. It's a mixture of old and new.
Well, we got a big ribbon stretched across the whole between the 30 and the 48-yard line. And Larry's going to get ready to cut the ribbon. Yeah, we got all the cameras ready to go.
And it's official.
And he's got a key to the field, it looks like.
That never stopped him before. He didn't need a key to get in before. I doubt he does now.
That's true. Well, at least he didn't call a timeout during the ceremony, Randy. That's the big thing.
That's true.
You know?
I shudder to think how many hours that man's put on this field.
Yeah, without a doubt. Well, weather conditions tonight brought to you by J&J Feeds and Needs and Trailer Sales. Perfect night for football.
Yep.
I saw a friend of mine, Bob Greenberg, who does a lot of these games out in the western part, District 10 area. He says if on a scale of 1 to 100, this would be 1,000.
Yep.
As far as weather conditions. 70 degrees and clear, southeast winds, 4 miles per hour. So brought to you by J&J Feeds Needs and Trailer Services. We're getting ready for the national anthem, so we'll pause. Excellent job by the Central Clarion Marching Band with our national anthem. Randy, I think you know that they combined CL, North Clarion Kids, and Clarion, I think, this year for the band. So very powerful.
That's awesome.
Great job. Some great camera shots down there on the field, too, by Chase Steinman, our on-the-field cameraman. Our on-the-field camera brought to you by Harper Corporation, shopteamwear.com cam. We have down there and Adrian Webbin, our other cameraman, and Sean making it all the way from Philadelphia, our producer. So we're all with you tonight, and we have all this ceremony and everything, and my goodness, I'm ready for a football game.
It's going to be a great game. I'm excited to watch it. I think these are two of the powerhouses in District 9 facing each other this early in the season. It doesn't get much better than this.
Yeah, both teams last year, District 9 champions, and you have both of those teams playing for something early in the season. And people talk about, hey, the game early in the year really doesn't make or break your season, but boy, it gives a lot of momentum to the team that really goes with it. A couple things I want to mention. The 1A rankings in the state. Port Allegany actually got votes to be in the top 10. So once again, they're a powerhouse team, and they're coming in this afternoon or this evening for the football game. So they're ranked in the top 10. The 2A rankings, which Clarion is in, let's just go over them for you real quick here. Ranked number 1 is Southern. These are some powerhouse teams in 2A. Listen to some of these names that are in that same bracket with Central Clarion. Ranked number 1 is Southern Columbia. Number 2 is ranked Farrell. Trinity is ranked 3rd. Number 4 is Steel Valley. Dunmore out in the eastern part of the Pennsylvania is ranked 5th. Richland High School is ranked 6th. Now this number 7 is the Executive Education School.
Oh, wow.
That must be out in Philly. And an old nemesis for the Wildcats, Westinghouse, who knocked them out of the state playoffs last year, check in at number 8. Beaver Falls is number 9, and the Wildcats check in basically at number 10. They're in a very powerful division as far as the state playoffs are concerned, but you got to beat the best to play the best to beat the best, I guess, Randy.
And Southern Columbia has always been a powerhouse. Farrell has always been a powerhouse. Some of the schools that you've mentioned are not. They're in the playoffs every year practically. And to get to the state finals in Double A, it's very, very difficult. So I think Central Clarion has a really good team, and I think this is going to be a really good test for them tonight to see what they're made of.
Yeah. And once again, we're having the coin toss. Kevin Doverspike, our referee tonight. Now, we're making all this hype for Larry Weiser Field, but keep in mind, folks, that we're still going to be playing some games over at Clarion Limestone Stadium, too, this year. So the Wildcats will play a little bit over at CL. I don't have the schedule right in front of me, but as the year goes on, there'll be some games over at Clarion Limestone. I know we're going to broadcast one of the games over there later on in the year. So the coin toss. Clarion has won the toss. It's elected to defer. Port Allegany is going to get the ball. And we're getting closer to kickoff. We're getting there.
And it's here. It's interesting that Central Clarion has elected to defer to the second half, and, I kind of have mixed opinions on that. I've changed my views of that. Everybody thinks that having the ball the second half is you have an upper hand. I've kind of changed my thought on that now. You have a halftime, and both teams adjust at halftime. So when you have the ball the second half and you go 3 and out, that can be very deflating too. So I could argue both sides to that. But Central Clarion's decided to defer to the second half, and they're going to kick off.
I'm an offensive guy. Give me the ball.
I
Give me
agree.
the ball. Heck with that stinking defense, man. I want
agree.
the ball. I want to go down the field. I want to make something happen, basically.
Well, that's what makes us so good, because I'm a defensive guy. So I watch the defensive side of the ball. You can watch the offensive side of the ball.
That's it. Oh, man, you can just tell the butterflies on the field for the Wildcats down there at Port Allegany, bringing a nice throng of people. And hello to everybody up in Port Allegany who's watching us on exploreClarion.com. I know Coach Bernowski said he put the word out that they'd be able to watch the game up in Port Allegany tonight. So glad to have you along with us down here in Clarion, PA. What a nice night for football, and getting really close to the start here. Looks like Thomas Euchert's kick is going to hit at the 10-yard line, and it is going to be into the end zone. And it looks like it's going to be a touchback. So the Gators come out and start on offense for the first series. They'll be going right to left. It'll be interesting to see, and Randy knows, it'll be interesting to see how they're going to line up to start with, because they have all those linemen, and they're known to split out a lineman way out wide too, basically.
Yeah, well, they come out with twins in one and with 3 wideouts, which is a rarity. It's the first time they've shown this formation.
So Nick Wilfong, the 10th grader, 5'7", 140 pounds, as that quarterback. And we're getting some chains set and taking a little bit of time. Play comes in. Everybody takes a look at their wristbands. And here we go. Here's Wilfong. Wilfong. Pump fake.
Down the middle.
He's got a receiver down there about the 50-yard line. That's number 22, Aiden Bliss. And Bliss hauls it in at the 45-yard line. And that's going to be a first down for Port Allegany into the Wildcats territory on the first play of the game. What a nice throw by Wilfong.
That was just a blown assignment. The safety on this side of the field. Yeah, the safety bit on the hook. The corner the slot receiver came right down the middle of the field, uncovered.
We got this big monitor in here. I forgot all about it. First down and 10. Basically the ball at the 35-yard line for the Gators. Here's the handoff to Peyton Stiles. Stiles keeps his feet moving. Out close to the 30-yard line.
That's a great start for Port Allegany for sure.
Brought down by Coleman Slater, number 52, in on the tackle.
Their first play was a shocker to me, and I'm sure everybody on the Central Clarion side of the ball. And now they run a little crossbuck action, pick up, looks like about a 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5.
Taking a look here, we got a new quarterback in there. Aiden Bliss, one of the receivers, is in there at quarterback right now. He takes a direct snap, tries to get around that right side. Nothing there. The Wildcats defense all over him that time.
Charlie Heffel come up.
Number 20, Charlie Heffel,
Yep,
in on the tackle
good play.
for the Wildcats. So that's going to bring up a third down and about 7 or 8, they'll call it. And Bliss is still in at quarterback for the Gators.
Clarion shows a 5-man front, which is something they haven't shown yet this year.
Here's Bliss, fumbles the football, falls on it, back at the line of scrimmage for a loss. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. This first quarter being brought to you by the Clarion VNA. First quarter brought to you by the Clarion VNA. So 4th down in about 8. Port Allegany still looks like they want to go for it here.
We've got a timeout.
Timeout.
Officials timeout.
Officials timeout.
We got it.
Kevin Doverspike, the referee, is admonishing the clock operator for stopping the clock on running plays. So I think we won't have that problem again here. I got a feeling. Mr. Doverspike, a retired state cop, by the way. Okay. 4th down and long, and the ball's going to be caught down there by number 3, Peyton Stiles. Stiles still on his feet. He's all the way down to about the 6-yard line. Nice throw by Nick Wilfong again, and there are 2 penalty flags on the play.
It's like a late hit out of bounds. Probably going to move a half the distance to the goal.
There's Wilfong.
Yep,
a lot of time.
He just hit the inside slot, and slot cleared through the middle. Was able to find a hole in between the 2 linebackers, and he was on his way.
Port Allegany heading into the end zone.
Will also be tacked on at the end of the play. Will make half a distance to the goal.
So a big penalty down there for the Wildcats. Penalties tonight being brought to you by Red Bank Chevrolet. Here's Wilfong, the quarterback. They set the ball at about the 2-yard line. Wilfong hands the ball off to Aiden Bliss, and Bliss is in the end zone. 2-yard run by Aiden Bliss puts the Port Allegany Gators on top 6-0.
This is exactly what Port Allegany wanted to do. They wanted to move the ball down the field. They wanted to take the air out of the ball, which they did. Surprisingly, they hit a couple big pass plays, and they moved the ball at will. So Clarion certainly is going to have to make some adjustments to that. They've shown some formations that Port Allegany hasn't seen before, and that's a problem.
Thomas Euchert, they fumble the snap, or it's Wilfong, tries to throw the ball. My apologies on that. And the 2-point conversion is no good. So we'll take a timeout with 10:25 remaining in the first quarter. It is Port Allegany 6, Central Clarion nothing.
That was kind of a shocker.
Looking for a new Bobcat tractor? Northeastern Equipment Sales and Rentals has inventory on the lot, ready to be loaded up so you can get to work on tough jobs. Check out Bobcat of Clarion at 1214 East Main Street in Clarion.
Back at Larry Weiser football field. Kickoff taken by number 40 for the Wildcats. And that's going to be Brendan Wright on the return.
Yep.
And he'll get the ball out to about the 40-yard line. So Aiden Bliss, 2-yard touchdown run for Port Allegany, gets them up on top. Our touchdown tonight being brought to you by Bauer Truck Repair. And before they scored the touchdown, they were in the red zone, brought to you by Dubrock. So here's the Wildcats. Touching the ball for the first time tonight. Jace Ferguson comes out. And we got another whistle. And the clock, let's see what we got. So, Randy, I'll tell you, the 2 big plays on that drive. And the young guy, Wilfong, Nick, the quarterback, doing a pretty good job throwing the ball out there and receivers making some pretty big catches on that drive for Port Allegany. So let's see if the Wildcats can answer now.
It's surprising that Port Allegany come out and threw the ball, and they threw it efficiently and effectively, and I think it's kind of caught Clarion off guard. So Central Clarion off guard. So we'll see how Central Clarion reacts and if they can come back and score on their first drive.
Yeah, some clock problems tonight to be expected after not playing a game here for 19 years. So there's Jace Ferguson in the shotgun. Ferguson, high snap. He's going after it, and he's going to fall on that football about the 21-yard line. It was still loose. I don't know if
Port Allegany got it.
If the referee called him down or not. We're waiting to see a signal. Officials timeout.
Officials timeout. We're going to watch it again.
Loose snap on the play.
All right, it was a high snap, and he was on the ball, and then 64 jumped on top of him.
Yeah, that ball was loose.
I'm not sure what they're doing with the ball here now.
I don't know. Well, as you saw in the replay, Jace Ferguson tried to fall on it. I don't think he ever had possession of it. But
okay,
now
they're calling that a dead ball. There was no play because it's still first down.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Both referees in discussion down there. And I think they're more nervous about the clock here than anything else. Not a good way to get it started here.
Not at all.
For the Wildcats. A couple other games going on tonight. Cottersport is at Bradford. Brookville's at Struthers, Ohio, which is a surprising because next week we'll have the Brookville Keystone game. I believe that game is going to be over in Knox, PA. So I'll be interested to see how that score goes through the course of the game. Another big game, Brockway at DuBois. So we're back at first down and 10. Ball at the 40-yard line. Here's Ferguson. He hands the football off to Noah Nazer. Nazer up over the 45 to the 49-yard line.
Good run by Noah Nazer. Just an off-tackle dive. Was able to hurdle a kid. Picked up about a 9-yard gain. Second and 1.
Good job by Colby Wright. Right guard for the Wildcats, leading the way over there a little bit. And, Randy, we talked a little bit about Port Allegany being big on offensive line, but, of course, all those kids are playing both ways. So there's a lot of beef between both trenches tonight.
There is. And big number 63, Jimmy Kerr, is on the right tackle. He also had a hand in that last play.
Here's Ferguson. Second down and short. Rolls to the left. Little skip pass out there to number 28.
Brady Quinn.
And that's Brady Quinn with the reception, and I think Quinn is going to have enough for a Wildcats first down.
A little roll out there. I think that was just a play call just to kind of settle Jace down a little bit. They got Brady in the flats. It's a pretty easy pass and catch, and it results in a first down for Central Clarion.
First down's being brought to you tonight by Nick's Auto Body. So a lot of first downs on the table so far tonight. First down and 10. Wildcats ball at the 48-yard line. Here's Ferguson looking downfield. Got a receiver down there. He's got number 28, Brady Quinn. Big reception, and they'll mark him down at about the 32-yard line.
Nice pitch and catch there. Those two have a great chemistry. They're best friends. They spend a lot of time together, and it's good to see those two hooking up. Brady's coming off now for a blow. Now they're going with their heavy set now. Bring a tight end in with a wing.
So they'll actually mark the ball. It looks like at the 34-yard line. So here's Ferguson. Hand off to Nazer. Tries to get on that left side. Nothing over there.
Well, that was a great play by that defensive end and that backer.
64, Miska Young, 6'3", 235 in on the tackle that time for the Gators.
And Peyton Stiles came up hard from his outside backer or corner. I'm not sure which, but they had no place to go there. Nazer tried to cut it up, and there was just no lane for him to cut it up in.
Well, that was there last week at Brookville, Randy. I think that's why they went to that again. Here's Ferguson, back to pass. Looking again downfield. Penalty flag on the play. It's complete. Number 17, Mason Burford. Burford's inside the 25-yard line, but flag on the play. So let's see what the White Hat has to say about this. Some other games going on tonight. Punksy's at Kane, West Branch at Bucktail, and St. Mary's beat Ridgeway Thursday night, 28-14.
Illegal lineman downfield.
Downfield against the Wildcats. Penalty will be marked off against the Wildcats, making it second and long.
I got a feeling that was 28, Brady Quinn.
Yeah, he was, I believe, I'd have to look at the replay, but I believe Brady must have been on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
That would have been the only reason we would have called him for an illegal lineman downfield.
It was quite obvious when he raised his hands who the penalty was going to be on.
Yep.
Teach those young kids. You coach junior high. Never put your hands up if the penalty's on you. What do you mean? It's me. So here we go. Second down and long. Here's Ferguson trying to roll right again. He's got two men out there. And Jace Ferguson overthrows number 24, Dawson Smale, who was his big target last week against Brookville. Getting a little pressure there on the right side that time.
That was a really well-designed play. They flooded the zone. He had three receivers on that side. He had a quick out. He had a middle receiver and a deep receiver. Smale was the middle receiver. He was wide open, and Jace, unfortunately, just kind of airmailed that one. Sailed on him a little bit. Love to have that one back.
Third down and long. Nazer in the backfield. Here's Ferguson looking for somewhere to go. Throws it deep. He's got a man wide open down there. He's got number 17, and that is Mason Burford for the Wildcat touchdown.
Good for Mason. I talked to Mason this week, and I asked him, what kind of game can I expect from you? And he said, well, he's thinking, I'm going to have 4 grabs today. And I said, how about 4 grabs and a touchdown? He said, you got it, Coach. So there's his touchdown and his first grab of the night. Nice throw by Jace. Mason was unbelievably open there. Great play for them.
So Mason Burford gets on the board for the Wildcats. The extra point is going to be up, and it is good. So with the score, Central Clarion 7, Port Allegany 6. Let's take a timeout. We'll be back with more high school football right after this on exploreClarion.com.
Dubrook, a division of M&B Group, is your trusted local ready-mix supplier for residential and commercial projects. Dubrook provides a full line of decorative concrete, as well as concrete supplies, along with a variety of concrete tools and accessories. Dubrook can provide services large or small for residential and commercial projects to contractors or homeowners. Dubrook is here to provide you with options and ideas to make planning your next project simple. Let Dubrook help you with the supplies you need to get the job done. Dubrook is proud to support our local communities with plants in Clarion, Du Bois, St. Mary's, Butler, Evans City, Bradford, and Meadville. Call 1-844-382-7665.
Back at Larry Weiser Field, kickoff for Port Allegany rolls into the end zone. So both teams, both possessions, end up scoring touchdowns. This last one was 7-10 in the first quarter. 38-yard touchdown pass from Jace Ferguson to Mason Burford. Extra point was good.
And Central Clarion's offense looks very sharp at this point. Jace Ferguson really looks good. Just missed one throw on that drive, but boy, all in all, they look good. They look like they're hitting on all cylinders tonight.
So Port Allegany's turn. Let's see what they can do. Number 8, Nick Wilfong, quarterback, the 10th grader. Hands off to number 3. That's Peyton Stiles trying to get over that right side. Not much there.
Brought down by
Charlie Hepfel come up again. Gain a short, maybe 2 or 1 yard, 2nd and 8.
Well, I think one thing that we talked about in the pregame, Randy, is that Port really wants to keep that clock moving and doesn't want to get into a track meet here.
Right.
Second down and long. Penalty flags on the play.
It's like Central Clarion jumped there. I think Port Allegany went to a long count. And unfortunately, Central Clarion bit.
Offside by Central Clarion will move the ball.
Our penalties, as I mentioned early tonight, brought to you by Red Bank Chevrolet. our on-field camera. We're going to get some shots down there from Chase Steinman coming up soon. Being brought to you by Harper Corporation. 2nd down and 5. Here's a handoff around the left side. That's Tristan Kaiser, and really nothing there. The Wildcats come up and make a big stop there on 2nd down.
Braylon Beckwith came up and made the tackle, but Brady Quinn he's playing a hero back tonight, and they walked him up the line of scrimmage. He took on the blocker, actually took on 2 blockers there, and looks like they had a minimal gain there. Brings up a 3rd and 5.
3rd down and 5. Here's Wolfong. 3-step drop. Throws a little screen outside. Completes the pass to Aiden Bliss, but it is well read by that Clarion defense.
Brady Quinn again came up and made a big hit. Good stop. No gain on the play. Brings up a 4th and 5.
Good job by that Clarion defense.
And I think, again, that was an adjustment that they made from the first series. They flooded that zone, brought the inside slot receiver across the middle, and then they tried to sneak out the back of the backfield, but they were having none of it.
Well, it looks like number 76. It's Braylon Button back there to pump the football away for Port Allegany. Got one of these big lineman type of guys with a strong leg. Turns it over. Taken back there, Dawson Smale at the 43-yard line and runs the ball out. We got a penalty flag on the play. They run the ball back out to about the 48-yard line. Brought down by number 22, Aiden Bliss. But once again, there's a penalty down there. And we'll decipher that here as quick as we can. Folks, another game going on Explore Clarion tonight is the Karn City Red Bank game. Mike Kalinowski and Bob Dunkel down in Karn City for that big football game. Red Bank coming into the game 1-0. Karn City with a loss last week. They're expecting a large crowd down there in Karn City for that football game. We'll give you some updates as we get closer to the 2nd quarter.
I have no score for Red Bank Karn City.
Okay.
First quarter.
So they'll move it back. Still some more discussions with the referees over there, basically.
Illegal block in the back. That was the call, and it goes against Central Clarion, so looks like about a 10-yard penalty. It looks like they'll set the ball down about the 33-yard line. 1st and goal, Central Clarion.
Talking to the few coach, I know there was one thing last week. Central Clarion has had a lot of penalties called on them last week. I know that was an area of emphasis this week, not to have those penalties.
Right.
And try to clean it up a little bit. So we got a 1st down. Here's Ferguson. Standing at his 28-yard line, hands the ball off to Nazer. Nazer up over the 40 to the 45-yard line. Big gainer for the Wildcats. Brought down by number 76, Balin Brutton.
But not after he picks up another 1st down.
Well, they really sealed that end. Number 85, Hayden Heineman, and the slot back, number 30, Braylon Beckwith. They sealed the end, and everybody just crashed down, and they had a really nice gain there.
Well, you can really see with our on-field camera the size of some of these guys
they're big.
For Port Allegany and also
big.
for Central Clarion down there. Good job by Chase Steinman. I said our cameraman, and Aiden Weber, who's on our other camera. Okay, now we're trying to get the clock squared away again. We'll see where we're at with that. Next week, we will be at the Brookville Keystone game over in Knox, PA. You can join Mike Kalinowski and I next week for the call on that. Here's Ferguson. Low snap. Tries to get the football out. Gets it out to Burford.
Yep.
Mason Burford. And Burford over the line of scrimmage. Small gainer. About 2 on the play.
Again, those are really set up plays. They try to get the ball in Burf's hands very quickly. He's a good playmaker. He's fast. He's lanky. I think they'll set that up, and they'll hit that a couple of times, and then they'll hit a go route off of that also. So they're planning something big with them for sure.
Noah Harrison in the backfield, next to Chase Ferguson. He's got Burford split out here to the right. Here's Ferguson, back to pass, looking downfield. He's going to let one fly. He's got a receiver down there, number 28. That's Brady Quinn. Quinn hauls it in at the 15-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 14. Another big first down for the Wildcats.
In this play again, Brady lines up in a slot position, ran him right down, cleared out the middle zone, and he just hits a soft spot in the zone. Jay steps up, hits him on stride. Great throw, great catch.
Good throw by Ferguson. Great catch by Quinn. His dad was a wide receiver at Clarion University too, so got a little bit of that DNA.
He's also a junior high football coach with me too.
There you go. Here's Ferguson, first down. Ferguson hands the football off. That ball's going to go to number 28, Dawson Smale, and Dawson Smale.
That's Quinn.
Did he get in? Or I'm sorry, Brady Quinn, and is he in, or are they going to mark him down? Penalty flag on the play.
Holding. Got a Central Clarion hold.
Holding against the Wildcats will nullify the touchdown.
And boy, that was well set up. They ran a little rocket sweep there, and they had it blocked well. Brady cut it off the corner, came inside, found the lane, and got it in for the score, but unfortunately they got called for a hold there.
Using Quinn a lot more this game than the last game, Randy. Getting him more involved with the offense and everything. Our penalties, once again, tonight being brought to you by Red Bank Chevrolet, and the Wildcats are in the Dubrock red zone. Here's Ferguson. He's going to keep it, try to get outside. He'll get over to about the 15-yard line. Brought down by number 70, Juso Young on the play.
They had that defended very well. They collapsed the end. They tried to hit a little trap there with Jace Ferguson, and that right side stayed solid.
They'll call it 2nd and 12 for Central Clarion. 3:14 remaining in this first quarter here at Larry Weiser Field. So Ferguson, Noah Harrison split to his right. Ferguson throws it to the end zone. He's got Burford wide open, touchdown.
Oh, wow. That was too easy.
That was an easy one. You're exactly right. About an 18-yard touchdown pass from Ferguson to Burford. Almost looked like the same one.
Well, I talked to Mason, as I said yesterday, and I asked him how many catches. He said he was going to have 4, and he said he was going to have 1 touchdown. He lied. He has 2 now. Great throw. The corner must have thought he had some help in the back, but he did not. The extra point looks good.
Point is up and good. And Central Clarion will move out in front now, 14-6. Let's take a timeout from Larry Weiser Field with the score. Central Clarion 14, Port Allegany 6.
One of the biggest risks to your future could be running out of money during a longer than expected retirement. Many people have not yet taken the time to determine if they will have enough assets to last throughout retirement. Our Retirement Income Evaluator can help you develop a roadmap and actionable recommendations. To learn more, stop by our office located at 162 South 2nd Avenue in Clarion. Give us a call at 223-9990 or visit JannyClarion.com. Janney Montgomery Scott, LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIP.
You can afford a gorgeous, custom-designed hardwood Kerle's kitchen for a lot less than you'd pay at a DIY store. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. At Kerle's, there are never middleman markups or hidden charges that can add 40%. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. That's FactoryDirectKitchens.net.
Back at Larry Weiser football field, Euchre kicks the ball. Taken back there by number 15, Tristan Kaiser. Kaiser still on his feet, gets out to the 40, and he takes a lick over there in front of the Port Allegany bench.
Dawson Smale had a big hit on that play.
Boy, he could see him coming over the 50-yard line, and he eyed him up.
He laid him out.
He really did. So big return for Port Allegany. They'll actually mark him out, and it looks like the Gators will start pretty much at the 38-yard line, I think, somewhere like that.
And the man himself just appears in our window.
Trying to get in the press box or what he was trying to do.
I'm not sure what he's doing.
You should have got that on film, Aiden. That's it.
The man himself, the legend of the man.
First down and 10, Port Allegany at the 30, let's call it the 37-yard line. Here's Stiles. Direct snap. They'll pick up a few.
That's been their biggest play this year, or at least this week, is their run from the Wildcat. And they picked up pretty good yards there. It looks like they picked up a good 6-yard, manageable 2nd and 4.
Well, I think they need that. I think they need a couple first downs, keep the ball away from Central Clarion and try to build a little bit of confidence. About 2 minutes left in the first half. Approaching the 2-minute mark. Looks like Stiles back in. He's going to keep it.
Again, Charlie Heffel just played that perfectly, and I know that because he played outside backer for me in junior high. He came up and kept his outside leverage, and the quarterback had nowhere to run. That was a perfect play by an outside backer.
I'll tell you, Randy, we've said his name about 3 or 4 times tonight. So later on at the end of the game, we'll have the Hager Player of the Week. And I got my money on Mason Burford right now, and Charlie Heffel are 2 leaders in the clubhouse right now.
Yep.
Third down and short for Port Allegany. Let's see who's in the backfield there. Numbers are tough to read. I think that's Stiles, or Bliss rather. Bliss is out close to the first down.
Looks like he's got it.
Looks like the side judge, Lee Kroll, is going to come up and mark him for a first down, and Port Allegany will retain possession with that first down.
Clarion really came up in a 6-man front, really trying to stop the run there. So I was very impressed with Port Allegany. Was able to pick up 3 yards on basically a goal line defense from Central Clarion.
Stiles still in there in the Wildcat. 10th grader again. Here's Stiles. Or Bliss. Bliss around the right side. He's still got some running room. He's up over the 30-yard line and is pushed out of bounds at about the 28.
Again, that's been their most successful play. They seal off the end. He's able to cut it up inside, and he picked up a good chunk of yardage there. And again, Clarion is got a 5-man front now, and now they jump out back into a 4-man front. So I think they're trying to protect their outside a little bit better now.
One thing about this football field, you got to have your eyes open like crazy if you're walking around the sidelines, because you're going to get plowed over, basically. It's not like the university. You have a track with a buffer.
Same play, and now we got a great play.
Same play to the left side. Aiden Bliss tries to take it around the left side. Penalty flag on the play.
Braylon Beck with a shot of gap there. They had a little stun on from an outside backer and made a great play.
Hey, come up really nice on that one. Yeah, let's see here where we're at. See if coach wants to play or not.
Holding. Yep.
Holding on offense.
They're going to take the penalty and repeat a first down. It eliminates a great play by an outside backer, which is the favorite of mine. I like to hear outside backers making great plays.
That's it.
Yep. He's actually kind of a, I guess in this scheme, he's more of a Mike linebacker, and then they walk up Brady Quinn as a hero backer.
Here's a quick pass out to the right. Goes to Peyton Stiles. Stiles picking up a few. Another penalty flag on the play.
I think they got a hold on the outside on Brady Quinn.
So that'll, let's see what they call. Not that I'm doubting you, Dr. Cathcart, but a couple scores for your Red Bank 7, Carn City nothing in the first quarter. That's about it right now. Pretty quiet in District 9 in the first quarter, except for here.
Holding. Port Allegany. Did you ever have a doubt?
What's that?
Did you doubt me again? As a referee, it was Lee Kroll was standing right there when the wide receiver kind of hooked Brady Quinn, and I think that was the call.
Okay.
To me, it looked pretty obvious, but I'm a little bit further away than Lee.
We'd like to go there, but we won't go there. 50 years as a referee. We're down to zeros in the first quarter. So we'll take a timeout with the Central Clarion Wildcats 14, the Port Allegany Gators 6. We'll be back with more of second quarter action right after this.
Locally owned and operated, Hager Paving of Strattonville provides a range of services: hot mix asphalt, cold patch asphalt, tar and chipping, and seal coating. Hager Paving's reputation in business is based on customer service, referrals, and your satisfaction. Serving residential, commercial, industrial, and local municipalities throughout Western Pennsylvania, exceptional service, exceptional quality. That's Hager Paving of Strattonville. Call 814-764-5080. That's 814-764-5080 for Hager Paving.
Back at Larry Weiser Field, getting ready to start the second quarter. Port Allegany has the ball at the 50-yard line. Be first down and long. Second quarter brought to you by Hager Paving. Thank Donnie Hager and everybody in that crew. Here's Wilfong. Looking deep downfield. He's got a bunch of receivers down there and a bunch of defensive backs. Pretty good play by the defense that time. Ball intended for number 15 for the Gators, Tristan Kaiser.
Dawson Smale was covering. The receiver was just able at the last minute to reach to his inside, knock the ball away. Good defensive play by Dawson Smale. They come out with two receivers on both sides of the field, so they're trying to spread out Clarion right now, and Clarion's playing man-to-man. They're playing cover one with one deep safety.
Well, as we said in pregame, Port Allegany with a big experienced offensive line, and all the skilled players are basically sophomores playing in their second game. Here's Wilfong, back to pass, looking to set up a screen. It's there, complete to number 22, Aiden Bliss. And Bliss is off to the races. He's at the 30. He's down to the 25-yard line. Big play, nice timing and everything from the quarterback, Nick Wilfong, to hold that ball, and then release it.
Yeah, well executed by Port Allegany. They brought the lineman in. The lineman kind of over-pursued there a bit. They threw it right over top of him, and it was off to the races. Brings up a manageable third and 3.
Yeah, I think got the third. Yeah, I think third down. They need to switch the down marker. So here we go, 3rd and 3. Here's Wilfong. Quick pitch out there to Aiden Bliss. Bliss around the right side. He's trying to get to that first down marker, and he's not going to make it. He may even lose a yard on the play.
Again, I keep mentioning Charlie Heffel's name, but he did a great job fighting outside, trying to maintain outside responsibility until number 7, Noah Nazer, came up and made the tackle, but really Charlie made that play. Great play, Charlie. That's 3 or 4 times I've mentioned his name, and he's doing an outstanding job at that outside backer.
So 4th down and about 5. Wilfong in a quarterback. He's going to try to roll left. Keeps rolling. Nothing there. Turns around to the right. Nothing there at all. Big number 30 for the Wildcats. Braylon Beckwith in on the tackle. Wilfong. The Wildcats will take over possession.
That was really a cover sack. They tried to flood the zone there. They brought 3 receivers and had them running, and they just basically ran out of field. The quarterback started towards the left sideline, and they ran out of field, so he tried to cut back, and Braylon was able to run him down. So good play by Central Clarion.
So the Wildcats take over now, moving right to left. Ferguson, the junior quarterback, who threw for 339 yards last week against Brookville.
A timeout. Port Allegany, they had some personnel problems.
Yeah, we'll take a quick timeout, too. With the score, I should re-emphasize that and everything. Ferguson had 171 yards last week, total yards of 339 against Brookville. Let's take a quick 30-second timeout. We'll let everybody on the field get some water, and we'll let Sean, our producer, take a timeout. Back at Larry Weiser Field, the Wildcats up 14-6 with 10:26 remaining in the first half. Coming up at halftime, we're going to have a little. Randy Cathcart's going to have an interview with Larry Weiser. Get his thoughts on naming the field after him. Holy smokes, that's like big time. First down and 10. Here's Ferguson at the 30-yard line. Rolls left. Looking. Pressure coming. Completes a pass to Dawson Smale at the 48-yard line. Take a look at it. Juggled it a little bit down there. We're having a nice conversation between the athletics, by the referees, actually.
Wow. Yeah. They called that a completed pass.
Well, we got the replay. Go ahead. You can take it.
Well, he did have it and put both feet down. When his feet hit the ground, he gets hit, and the ball goes out. So that was a tough call.
That's a nice thing about having replay.
Yeah.
You know?
He was out. Yeah. Yeah, that's a bad break for Port Allegany. All three of the Port Allegany defenders adamantly said that he dropped the ball. Unfortunately, the officials didn't see it that way.
Well, good thing I didn't say that too loud, because the referees will be up here looking at a replay on a monitor or something. Here's a handoff to Noah Harrison for the first time tonight. Harrison up over the 50-yard line. He'll make it down to about the 47. Good running by Noah Harrison. Played a little quarterback last year when Jace got hurt.
Yep.
In the backfield now. One of these games, I'll tell you a great story about Noah Harrison.
I had Noah 2 years ago in junior high football. He was our quarterback.
I met Noah Harrison when his wife came in and interviewed for the volleyball position.
Yeah.
He was about 7 months inside of mom at that point. So that's my first encounter with Noah Harrison. And I told Coach Jen, please do not have that baby in my office here. Here we go, second down and about 7. Here's Ferguson getting pressure, and he's going to be brought down at the 45-yard line by number 64. That is Miska Young in on the tackle for Port Allegany.
That was good pressure, and that was just the initial front four linemen. They didn't stunt, they didn't blitz. They just rushed hard, and they got a lot of good penetration, and they forced Jace to scramble, and he ran right into big number 64.
14-6, Port Allegany holding kind of firm here. Big drive for the Wildcats. See if they can move it down the field and get some more points here with 9:37 remaining in the second quarter. Here's Ferguson. Twins right and twins left. Back to pass. Look at his screen. Everybody yelling it. There's Ferguson trying to get away. Throws the football down deep, and it is caught, but it's going to be out of bounds. It's caught by number 24, Dawson Smale. But Smale just wasn't able to get those feet down.
Heck of a catch. Unfortunately, the field wasn't wide enough.
Heck of an escape for Jace Ferguson, too. Jace Ferguson also to try to get out of some of that pressure. It's so tough to roll left and try to throw right. It's just, and same thing you're noticing with the Wilfong King. Port Allegany's rolling him out left, and he's trying to throw right, and it's really, really tough for a young kid to do something like that.
Well, I think that shows his athleticism. He's just such a tremendous athlete that he was rolling to his left and threw the ball probably 35, 40 yards and right on target.
So it looks like Dawson Smale, I believe, back deep to punt it away for the Wildcats. He does. Nobody back for Port Allegany. It's going to take a bounce at the 10, 5, 4, 3, and great play by that defense of the Wildcats, brought down there by Braylon Beckwith, and that's where Port Allegany is going to take over possession. They'll mark him at the 4-yard line.
Following week here, varsity cross country will be at Keystone on Wednesday, and at West Middlesex.
So we're going to turn it over, and
on Saturday.
Port's going to have to drive 97 yards here, basically.
This is a big drive for Port Allegany. Port Allegany's got to take this ball and try to drive it down the field. They do not want to give Central Clarion another opportunity to score before halftime.
Boys varsity soccer.
Okay.
Clarion Limestone High School on Tuesday, entertaining Brockwell.
Wildcats are set. Let's see who's in the backfield this time. Got a few other people back there. Looks like Bliss again. So Bliss takes that direct snap, tries to get it out. Gets it out to about the 5. They'll cross over the 5-yard line, maybe the 6.
Central Clarion brought 2 backers that time, they anticipated Port Allegany running the ball, and they tried to stuff the run. Held them to a short gain, so it's 2nd and probably 9.
Some substitutions for the Gators. Changing up a few things in the backfield. I think Bliss again back there. Bliss keeps it, rolls left. He's got some running room. Bliss up over the 10, out near the first down marker. Not sure if he made it, Randy.
Pretty close, but I believe they have him marked about 2 yards short.
Yeah, Bliss got out there. Not a lot of contain on that right side for the Wildcats. What the heck's going on out there?
Yeah, Beckwith knocked him out of bounds, and he was probably about the only Central Clarion football player there. So it's a good thing he made that play.
Probably going to start that play. Look for that in the second half possibly here. We used to run stuff like that, and we had and then it's like, Coach, run it again. No, they'll be looking for it. They'll be looking for it. It's like, geez, man.
It's like the wide receiver. I'm always open. I'm always open. Yeah,
that's right. Little blitz on the play. Here's Bliss again out to left. I don't think he's going to get out there. He gets over the line. Had to get to the 15 or 16, and they're going to move the sticks. That's going to be a first down for Port Allegany. First down's brought to you tonight by Nick's Auto Body.
That was a heck of an effort. He had some resistance there, but he got to the 15, and that's what they needed to get to.
He got pinballed around a little bit. Our second quarter, once again, brought to you by Hager Paving. So they'll mark him first down. First down at 10. Ball at the 15-yard line. Wilfong back in there at quarterback. Motions his receiver around. Here's Wilfong trying to make something happen. He takes the ball up the middle and picks up a nice little gainer of about 6 yards. So Nick Wilfong, the 10th grader, 5'7", 140 pounds, makes a little yardage on that play.
Brought down by Hayden Hyman.
Beautiful night here in Clarion. Not a cloud in the sky. The light's starting to take effect. Good to be back down by the high school in Coach Weiser field. It was nice having everybody up at the university, but it was time for them to move back here and enjoy the facilities, the fine facilities they've worked so hard to make down here at Clarion. Here's Wilfong again, looking for somewhere to go. Runs the ball up the middle. Has to get to the 25-yard line. The side judge comes in and marks it right at the 25-yard line. Might be a little bit short.
Looks like it's going to be about 3rd and about half a yard.
6:44 remaining in the second quarter.
3rd and 1.
Big crowd here at Clarion High School, Coach Weiser Field. You can just take a look down around there. They're all the way around the fields, basically. So short yarder, hard snap that time by Wilfong.
They got us.
And the Wildcats jump offside. This is where you look down at Coach Eggleton, and he's got to take some very, very, very deep breaths.
And it's always somebody right beside the ball that jumped off. And it looked like a linebacker was a little bit antsy. Beckwith was trying to stuff the A gap, and he stepped across the line of scrimmage. So first and 10.
Yeah, first and 10. They keep the drive going. Here's Wolfong again. Pushes forward, picks up about 3.
I think that was the original play that they were going to run on 3rd and 1, and they just said, run it again.
Run it again, run it again. They won't be looking for it, one of those type of things.
Yeah.
So digging out of some turf right now out of one of the receivers down there.
Most importantly, though, they are driving and running some clock off, and that's exactly what they needed to do, so Central Clarion did not get the ball again.
Wolfong, second down and about 8. Keeps that football again. Looking for some running room. He has it. He's up near the first down once again. Nick Wolfong around that left side. Penalty flag on the play. What we got? A face mask, it looks like, against the Wildcats possibly. Ryan Smith, another referee down there we recognize.
Yep.
Personal foul face mask.
Yep, you called that one.
Give Port Allegany another first down.
So that'll be a big one.
Ball probably over midfield into Wildcat territory.
That they'll step off.
5-3-1. They're saying it's 5-3-1. It should be on the clock. They're still having problems with the clock.
Yeah, opening night down here. So they're going to mark the football at the 47-yard line. And we got a stoppage again.
There we go. Finally got the clock set.
Clock stoppage again. Wolfong in a quarterback. They've gone to him an awful lot this drive. He's picked up a few yards. He's going to keep it again. Here's Wolfong. Over the 50-yard line, over the 45-yard line, down to about the 44. Picks up a few. Clock keeps continuing to run.
It's going to be interesting now if Port Allegany, now that they're on Central Clarion's side of the field, are they going to open the ball, playbook up and start throwing the ball, or will they continue to run the quarterback to the sidelines?
That big game against Brockway and Dubois up there. Dubois scored on their first possession of the game, so they are up 7-0. They kicked off at 7:30 in that game. Wolfong keeping it, looking. Squirts over the 40-yard line. Keeps this drive going a little bit. Port Allegany with a lot of substitutes. Every play, 3-4 kids come in.
Looks like Coleman Slater just missed him in the backfield there. He could have had him for a loss, but he slipped out of his grasp. Brings up a 3rd and 5.
Looks like Bliss is back in at quarterback here on this 3rd and 5. Bliss checking in at running back again. Direct snap. Here's Bliss. Looking for someone to go. Oh. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Great play by Hayden Hyman that time. Stepping up, sticking his nose in there.
Yep.
Knocking Bliss back for a loss.
And also Braylon Beckwith was there. Both linebackers, which as a defensive coach, that's what you love to see. 2 linebackers stuffing that A-gap.
Some great penetration that time by the Wildcats. Looks like in this second quarter, the Wildcats pushing those linemen back from Port Allegany pretty good here.
Interesting 4th and 6 now. Port Allegany's lined up. Looks like they're going to go for it.
Here's Wolfong back, looking downfield. He's got a receiver out there. Oh, there's Chase Ferguson out of nowhere, picking that pass off at the 30-yard line. Here's Ferguson at the 40, up over the 50-yard line. So Chase Ferguson with a big interception for the Wildcats. Sniffs out that Port Allegany drive.
Great play by Chase Ferguson. Just shows his athleticism. He was playing a safety. They were in cover 1. They had him covered. They had the 2 outside wideouts covered. They did a down, out, and go. Tried to fake like a bubble screen. He just read it and jumped the route. Great play by him.
Came out of nowhere.
Yep.
Thought the pass was going to be complete to Peyton Stiles, but all of a sudden here comes the center fielder out of nowhere to make the catch. So, Wildcats now with some momentum. 3:16 remaining in the fourth quarter. They have the ball at the 48-yard line. Here's Ferguson back to pass. Looking left. Getting pressured by Port Allegany. Throws the ball deep, and it's picked by number 28. Brady Quinn's got it.
He's gone.
Quinn's at the 30-yard line. All the way down to the end zone. A 51-yard touchdown reception from Ferguson to Brady Quinn.
And that's all Jace Ferguson. I mean, he just showed his athleticism there. He was rolling to his left, and we've talked about this before, how difficult this is for him to – originally he was just supposed to hit the 10-yard out. He rolled to his left further. Brady Quinn broke open and just broke the play wide open. Great play by Jace Ferguson and Brady Quinn.
Euclid on to kick the extra point. The kick is up, and it squeezes in there. So that'll make the score Central Clarion 21, Port Allegany 6 with 3:01 remaining in the second quarter. Let's step out for a quick timeout. We'll be back with more action on exploreClarion.com.
Also, make sure at halftime there will be refreshments and a cake up at the pavilion. Commemorating tonight's dedication of the field to Coach Larry Weiser.
We better get some cake.
I wonder if they deliver.
Ready to tie into those freaking Chex Mix. Where's that lemon pie you had over here earlier? No.
Right back here.
There it is. Yeah, that's. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Milano's.
Set to kick off.
I thought I saw fireworks. Thought maybe I was hallucinating.
Kaiser back deep.
That's the third touchback they've had tonight.
Cozy's up just inside the goal line for a touchback. Port Allegany will take over on their own 20 with a first and 10.
You ready?
Back at Larry Weiser Field. Sorry about that, Sean. What's it? I didn't know if we were back or not. I was going to talk about my vacation this summer.
You didn't miss much. We had another touchback by Central Clarion. That's his third, 3 out of 4 kicks now that we've had that have gone into the end zone.
So, Randy, Port Allegany's really got to answer on this drive.
Yep.
Had a great drive going. Unfortunately, that interception by Jace Ferguson snuffed out that drive. So, if Port can get something back, they got to get some points here going into halftime. Basically, there's Wilfong. He fumbles the football at the 10-yard line, being pressured by the Wildcats. Now, Wilfong picks it up and gets outside. He takes a pretty good lick out there by Noah Harrison on that right side. After all that running, I think Wilfong ran like 35 yards. He picked up 1. He lost a yard.
Made a great play. Made something out of nothing and saved probably 10 yards for Port Allegany. And most importantly, gave them an opportunity to get a first down. Port cannot afford to punt this ball away. They have to drive this ball and keep the ball out of Central Clarion's hands.
Port Allegany set up trips right. Here's Wilfong, hands the ball off to Bliss. Bliss is going to pick up a few. Over that left side, Brady Quinn on the tackle for the Wildcats.
Brady's had a very active game so far, and I'm sure his dad would love me to say that Brady's Jess Quinn's son, and Brady's had a good year so far. So.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Clock stopped by being hit out of bounds, so we got 3rd down and 8.
Big play for Port.
Wilfong in a quarterback. Hands the ball off, reverse, back to Wilfong. Wilfong looking downfield. He's got a receiver. Oh, and
nice
it's tipped and dropped by Aiden Bliss at the last time.
Great play by Dawson Smale. He knew that he read that. Just got a fingertip in there just to knock this ball away just at the last minute. Gets his left hand in. I mean, the kid had the ball too. number 22 from Port Allegany.
Bliss would have had it.
He would have had it.
And he would have been off to the races.
So it brings up a 4th and 8. Port Allegany certainly will have to punt this ball, I would assume.
Well, I would think so, but let's see. Yep.
2 minutes on the clock. 2 minutes.
Braylon Button back to punt the football away for the Gators. And I think that's 24, and that is Dawson Smale back deep for the Wildcats. Had a couple difficulties with the snap, so let's see what they got. Here's Button. Good kick. They'll take a Port Allegany bounce.
Okay.
And it will roll to the 38-yard line, where Central Clarion will take over from there. Coming up at halftime, Randy Cathcart is going to have a nice interview with Larry Weiser, who got the field named after him tonight. We're going to get our stats. We'll see if Noah Archer, our statistician from Port Allegany, comes up and gets us some stats. We'll talk a little bit about the scoreboard. We'll talk about the scoring summary. And we're going to talk about Randy's keys to the second half. So stay tuned with us here on Explore Sports.
For the Wildcats with $1.50 remaining till halftime.
1st and 10, ball at the Clarion, Central Clarion, 40-yard line. Ferguson, they're going to keep coming out throwing. Pass intended for Dawson Smale again. Almost made a miraculous catch down there.
Dawson's a great athlete, very good football player, also a baseball player and a basketball player. Unfortunately, he wrestled for a while, but had to choose one or the other, and almost came up with that. Was a little bit behind him. He ended up going to his backside and couldn't come up with the play.
Having some more clock difficulties here. Making a lot of corrections on the clock. So, brings up a 2nd down and 10. We got trips left for Central Clarion. Quick little pass out there. Noah Nazer on the reception.
Pretty safe play. No command of the backfield. Jace hit him in stride, picked up about 9 yards, brings up a very manageable 3rd and 1.
Clock stops once again. Second part of the second quarter, just a herky-jerky pace right now.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a good flow to it. Here's Ferguson.
Okay.
Ferguson. Good pass out there. It's just tip. It falls incomplete, basically. Falls incomplete. All right. We got Larry Weiser with us for the last minute, 37 seconds. So, Randy, you got an interview and you got play-by-play going at the same time.
All right.
Basically, okay?
So, right now, it looks like we have a 4th and 1 for the Central Clarion Wildcats. And Jace Ferguson takes a snap, and I don't know if he got it or not. Boy, it looks close. Larry, I got to say, since I have you here, congratulations on having the field named after you. That's a tremendous honor and certainly one that you deserve. My question to you is, did you have any idea that it was happening? And explain the events that led up to this.
Well, I was being told that we were going to have a discussion about the combining of the schools, and it was like there was a problem. There were some people that had questions, and they set it up pretty good. I thought I was going in and get my head burned off. And Todd Macbeth come out and said, "Hey, I don't want to be in your shoes tonight." Oh, here we go.
So you had no idea this was happening.
Then I saw Ryan come in, and I thought then the rest of it.
So you figured it out then.
Yeah.
Just to fill everyone in, Central Clarion was held short, so Port Allegany now gets the ball back, 1st and 10. Passes falls incomplete. Another question I had, Larry, throughout your illustrious career at Clarion area, you've had many memorable events that have happened on this field. what comes to mind? What are some of the things that you think about when you think about playing football in this field?
Well, I got a chance to watch Jimmy Kelly play here, coach against him, and
yeah.
I watched. His junior year, we almost beat him here. There have been so many great football players that have played here over the years, and you go back when I first started in '73, the Greatest and the Cherokos and the Wisners, and my God, it goes down through the list and the Stallmans and too many kids. Whoa.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Almost picked off. Beckwith almost picked that ball off for Central Clarion, brings up a 3rd and 10.
One of the unique stories I want to tell you is that it was always unique that you had the crowd right with you right there.
Right.
And one day I was down calling plays and somebody was smoking a cigarette beside me, and it was a local restaurant owner. I won't mention his name.
I think I know who you mean.
Yeah.
Yep. Buck a slice, right?
Yes.
Yes. Now, Larry, you've been retired now for, what, 4 years?
Like last year was 2020, I coached, so it's going on my 3rd year.
Third year. And how has football changed in those 3 years?
Well, I think we were moving back then, and I think you saw it coming to the RPO stuff was coming. I think that's, the age of the passer. I mean, I look at this league now with all these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The kid evolving from Du Bois now. District 9 looks pretty awesome.
It's funny you say that because we're even seeing that at the junior high level. If you don't have a quarterback in junior high, even 7th and 8th grade, I mean, you can't run the offense that all of these schools are now running aces and 3 wides and things like that. So it's still 2nd and 10 for Port Allegany. They had a failed pass attempt. There's looks like about 1:05 to go. My last question for you, Larry, is for the listeners that don't know, you are now the athletic director at North Clarion, replacing Bonnie Wolbert, who retired, the legendary Bonnie. Bonnie, if you're listening, hello. And I guess my question for you is, how do you see this merger, and what's your role now as the athletic director and trying to help this merger with North Clarion, CL, and Clarion area?
Well, not just the merger. I've always just been interested in getting kids out for sports. I think sports does so much for teaching how to win and lose. Life's lessons are so important, and so it's very successful coaching your own coach.
Absolutely.
Coach Cathcart, all those good things, and you guys continue to do that down there. But teach them how to be on time.
Right.
Just simple things like that, and be responsible to your teammate. And you don't get those things sitting at home watching TV or playing games on a computer. I encourage every parent, get their kids out here.
Well, that's really very encouraging to hear that because, I agree with you. I think we need to get our young people out. We need to get them involved. And it's not just in athletics. It can be clubs. It can be band, dance, whatever the occasion. But we need to keep our kids involved and keep them out of trouble. And Coach Weiser, I want to thank you for spending some time with us. Great honor for you to be here and have this field named after you. I can't think of a person that's more deserving. Thanks for stopping in, and do me a favor and save me a piece of cake, would you?
I will. And by the way, I'm sitting there with the 2 guys. I want to thank you guys, Dave, Katis. All those years he helped us up at the college and make things work for us. And Randy, obviously, you coached for me a number of years.
Certainly. We've been together since we moved here in 89.
Yeah.
Yep. It's been a long haul, but it's been a good one, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Congratulations, Larry.
Don't forget that cake.
A pretty classy guy, I tell you. It doesn't get much better than that. And, to not only to be a part of his program for so many years and to watch him coach and all the success that he's had, including my 2 sons and Dave's sons. It's been an honor knowing him, and certainly it's really nice to see him get the honor that he deserves.
Yeah, and you're good friends. You guys have been friends
We're
for
very
years.
good friends,
No doubt
yes.
about that.
Yep.
And that's a nice thing when you see your friends get honor with things. So,
Quick
catch up here. Port Allegany still driving. About 2nd down and short. Big drive here. 26 seconds remaining in the first half. Want to thank Larry Weiser for stopping up to see us. A great interview with him and Randy Cathcart. Great job, Randy. Great job.
That was an easy interview. He could have sat here and talked football for days.
I got some stories about him too in the years that my son was playing. Like, I can't really divulge too many.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll divulge a few of them and everything. I'm still work at the university, so I don't want to get fired for that. So here's the snap back to Wilfong. Looking downfield. He's got a guy in the middle of the field, number 15. Was Tristan Kaiser, but he just can't hold on.
Yeah, Nazer was there to break that play up, and that was going to be a short gain, but now it still brings up a 3rd and 5. And they're down to 21 seconds now, so this is a big play for Port.
This is a big play for the young quarterback, the sophomore. This is pretty big here. So a lot of pressure on him as a sophomore in the second game he's ever started. So here's Wolfong back to pass, throws that screen pass inside. He gets that football into Aiden Bliss, and Bliss is immediately brought down.
Beckwith and Nazer.
And Port Allegany going to call a timeout. So, yeah, we had to get Larry on right before halftime because they have this big cake in the reception area for him up. So we're very pleased he remembered to stop up here. And
so basically it was a decision between go to an interview with Dave Katis and Randy Cathcart or go up and have cake, and he chose the cake.
That's right. That's where he's going.
And I can't blame him.
That's it. It's just amazing if you weren't here at the beginning of the broadcast how many former players came back to see him. I mean, we started saying it was 25 or 30 of them, and then it ended up being about 50 or 55 former players down on the field at that point. So, he's going to go up and schmooze with those people. There's a good shot of the crowd. Big crowd here at Weiser Field. And they got a nice poster there. The Den, look at that thing.
Wow.
Jeez, man,
That
quite
is
intimidating.
Nice. Yep.
There's a big traffic jam on the stairway down there. So, coming up at halftime, we're going to have some stats. We're going to talk about, brought to you by the Laurel Art Clinic, the scoreboard. We're going to talk about some other action going on around District 9. A little bit here. Our scoring summary brought to you by Gatesman Auto Bodies. And we're going to talk about Randy's keys to the game in the second half, brought to you by Kale's Kitchen. Of course, the halftime show brought to you by Heater Lumber. We appreciate all Heater Lumber support throughout the many years of business. Okay, Wilfong, 1st down and 10. Back to pass. Looking downfield. Got a receiver.
Wow.
And it falls incomplete. Look at Peyton Stiles down there in the corner of the end zone. Nice ball by Wilfong, but pretty good defense back there too by, looked like number 20 for the Wildcats.
That's my buddy Charlie.
Charlie Hepfel again.
He did a little ladder there, a down, out, and go, and Charlie stayed right with him. He was covering him from his linebacker position, kind of face guarded him, which you're allowed to do in high school. Stayed right with him and got his hands up, and they were not able to complete that. Big play for Central Clarion.
So 9 seconds remaining. Looks like Port's got one timeout remaining, according to the sheet. Here's Wilfong. Ball falls incomplete. Intended out there for number 24. That's Jake Kaiser. Ball falls incomplete. Took 3 seconds off the clock.
Boy, I'm just sitting here looking at Wilfong. He is not a very big guy.
Nope.
What do they have him listed at?
They got him listed as 5'7", 140.
I think that's generous.
Yeah, usually they put another inch on and 10 pounds. So he's probably sitting at, 5'6", 130.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably more accurate. He's pretty small, but throws a very nice ball.
10th grader. Impressed me so far as a 10th grader out there. Here's Wilfong. He's going to have to
He's
get it to
open.
the end zone. He's got a player down there about the 1 yard line.
And it's short, no time.
It was caught by Peyton Stiles at the 1 yard line, but there's 0 on the clock right now. He's trying to call timeout, Coach Bernowski. And let's see.
Wow.
We'll see the replay here and see if he actually got in. We're going to be able to pull up a replay, Sean.
I think he was short. I think he's on the 1 yard line, but the question is there time left?
Here's the replay. Everybody at Port Allegany is watching this.
Yep.
Wilfong, just out of the screen.
See, the referee marks the ball on the half-yard line.
Yeah.
But by our calculations, there was no time left. So we'll see. No time left.
So the ball falls incomplete. There's no time left on the clock. So there'll be a small discussion with the Port Allegany coach, Bernowski, and the referees down there. And we're going to go into halftime. So let's take an extended break here. We'll have a little bit of the Port Allegany band and the Clarion High School band here with the score 21-6. We'll be back with a Heater Lumber halftime right after this.
Owners and operators, if your business depends on your truck, then we've got you covered. From simple oil changes to complete engine rebuilds, Bauer Truck Repair has the tools and the know-how to get the job done. We also offer 24-hour roadside assistance. Anywhere, anytime, any weather. Our techs are ready to get your truck fixed and back on the road. We even offer towing and load transfer services. At Bauer Truck Repair, we understand that every minute and every dollar counts. So trust your business with our business. Bauer Truck Repair, located off exit 60 in Chippenville. You can also find us online at exploreClarion.com or call us at 814-226-6023. That's 814-226-6023.
He's on the 30. He's on the 20. He's on the 10. It's a touchdown.
There's nothing like football. The lights, the cheers of the crowd, and getting a chance to see our local athletes and kids give it all they've got. Come to a game. Support our local schools. Clarion County Community Bank. A better way to bank. Member FDIC. Visit us online at clarionbank.com.
You can afford a gorgeous, custom-designed hardwood Kerle's kitchen for a lot less than you'd pay at a DIY store. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. At Kerle's, there are never middleman markups or hidden charges that can add 40%. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. That's FactoryDirectKitchens.net.
Okay, the Port Allegany Gators marching band. Quite a performance right there, Dr. Cathcart. Pretty
Great
good.
to see these bands. It's great to see so many kids involved in participating in the band, from the band members and all the people that are involved. So that's awesome. And now Clarion's coming out and they're going to perform.
Halftime show brought to you by Heater Lumber. My crack stat guy, Noah Archer, who's in my class, sport management class, with some statistics for us. Chase Ferguson, first passing, 9 for 13 for 147 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half. Very good. Noah Nazer, 3 carries, 22 yards. Jace Ferguson ran the ball, 2 carries, he minus 6 yards basically. Big night basically for number, 28. That is 28, Brady Quinn, with a big night, 3 receptions for 67 yards and a TD. For Port Allegany, Nick Wilfong, 7 for 15, 127 yards. They ran the ball an awful lot. So Peyton Stiles, 9 carries for 38 yards. And number 22, Aiden Bliss, had 11 carries for 35 yards and a touchdown. Followed by number 8, Nick Wilfong, the quarterback, had 3 carries for minus 8 yards. So pretty good stat night and everything. Thanks, Noah. Appreciate that. We'll see you later on at the end of the game, basically.
Noah better get some extra brownie points for this one.
Oh, he's getting a couple extra points.
He's hustling back down on that field and getting ready to get more stats. Good job.
He's doing a great job with that. So let's take a timeout. Not a timeout, but let's watch a little bit of the Central Clarion Wildcat Band.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire!
Back at the Heater Lumber halftime show. Dave Katis along with Randy Cathcart. Watching great performances by Port Allegany and the Central Clarion Wildcats Marching Band. Friday night at Weiser Field, Randy, listening to the band.
Doesn't get much better than that. And I do have to say that the Central Clarion Band has a combination of Clarion, the CL, and North Clarion students, including one of the football players, number 67, Nick Gross. He was I believe, a drummer.
Yes, he was. Pulling double duty a little bit.
Double duty. That's nice to see, and they sounded great. So kudos to those.
Well, we had our staffs. Noah Archer came up and gave us some little halftime stats and everything, brought to you by Laura Y Clinic. Let's take a look at the scoreboard if we can real quick and pick up on a few scores that we have here. Slow pickings tonight, basically. We talked a little bit about the Thursday night games. Montauk 34, Elk County 14. That was a final. Christoric St. Mary's Flying Dutchman 28, Ridgeway 14. That was Thursday night. Happening down in Karn City right now. Red Bank 21, Karn City 6. That game is at halftime. DuBois 7, Brockway 7. That's finishing up the first quarter, basically. Cameron County 6, Smethport nothing. Windber 35, Carlinsville nothing. Forest Hills 15, Clearfield nothing. Don't have a score in that Kane-Punxsutawney game yet. And we had a score earlier on Brookville and Struthers, so we'll try to get some of those scores basically to you. So scoreboard brought to you by Zocro Motors. Let's take a look at the scoring summary, Randy. Let's see where we're at here with everything.
Winning number, blue ticket.
Port Allegany got the ball and basically went right down the field at the 10:25 mark. Aiden Bliss, a 2-yard run. Extra point was no good. Port Allegany got on top 6-0 at that point. Then 7:10 in the first quarter, a 38-yard touchdown pass from Jace Ferguson to Mason Burford. Extra point was good. Clarion was up 7-6 at that point. Then with 2:55 remaining in the first quarter, an 18-yard touchdown pass from Ferguson to Burford extended Clarion's lead. The extra point was good to 14-6. And then one score in the second quarter with 3 minutes remaining. Ferguson 51 yards to Brady Quinn. Extra point was good and extended where we are right now with our lead 21-6. So our drive chart basically brought to you, our scoring summary brought to you by Gatesman's Auto Body. See Gatesman's Auto Body, and so that gets us to basically a 21-6 lead right now with everything. So both teams, or at least the Wildcats, we see the Port Allegany out there warming up also right here. We got about a minute 36 before to the start of the third quarter. Randy, both teams came out. Port Allegany got the ball, drove right down the field. Clarion put up 21 points unanswered right after that. So what do both teams need to do to start the second half?
Well, it's interesting. From a coach's perspective, you sit back and you watch these games unfold and you see their game plan. And Port Allegany came out with a game plan that I think really kind of shocked Central Clarion. Central Clarion had predetermined that they were going to try to run the ball. That's what they did last week. And Central Clarion kind of stacked the middle, and they were prepared to stuff them. And Port Allegany came out and throwing the ball. So, I guess the key in the game for me is Port Allegany's got to kind of continue with their game plan and try to spread the ball out a little bit. They need to capitalize on their opportunities. They had a great opportunity there right at the end of the second quarter. They got the ball down to the 1-yard line, but ran out of time. And another thing I think they really need to do is contain Ferguson. Ferguson's really hurt them when he's broken containment, and he's thrown some passes. He's found Burford. He found Burford twice in the end zone, and he scrambled once and found Brady Quinn once for a long touchdown. So, from my perspective, I think that's what their coaches are saying. Let's try to keep Ferguson in the pocket. Let's make him throw the ball in the pocket. And then, from Central Clarion's standpoint, I think they need to try to capitalize and stop the Wildcat, because that's the one thing that's really kind of hurt Central Clarion is they've been able to run the ball fairly consistently with the Wildcat. And then they need to continue to try to get Ferguson in the pocket, keep him in the pocket and make him throw the ball straight.
Those are Randy Cathcart's keys to the second half, brought to you by Kerle's Kitchen. Let's take one more time out before we start the second half. We'll be back with more action right after this.
Oaks Building Supply is dedicated to providing quality building products to the community. You will always find what you need for your home improvement project and get great advice on how to do the job at Oaks Building Supply. Customer satisfaction is a top priority. Oaks Building Supply, for all your building and lumber supply needs. Located on Route 66 in Lucinda.
Back here at Weiser Field. Central Clarion getting ready to receive the ball. 3 deep for them. Port Allegany kicking the ball away. I think that's Burford down at the 14-yard line. Burford up over the right. He's at the 30. He's at the 40. He's at the 45-yard line where he's going to be brought down. Good job by Burford on that return. Brought down by number 40. I keep looking at number 40, and he's not there. He's not on the roster, basically. I'm not sure. So we'll give it to Tyler Philhart, basically the tackle for Port Allegany.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what Port Allegany is going to try to do now to stop this high-octane offense of Central Clarion.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Eggleton wants to get to a point where we're going to take some time off the clock, too. They want to run the ball a little bit, establish some of that running game. Noah Nazer's in the backfield. Next to Jace Ferguson. There's Ferguson's going to keep it. Up over the 50, he breaks loose. He's at the 40, he's at the 30, makes a cut to the right, and a cut back to the left, and he's going to be brought down at the 30-yard line by number 64, Miska Young, on the play.
Great call by Central Clarion. They're obviously trying to get Ferguson with the ball, keep him active, and again, that's what's really hurt Port Allegany today. It's Ferguson breaking containment.
So Ferguson starts the second half with a big gainer. So first down and 10, ball at the 30-yard line. Nazer split to his left. Here's the handoff to Nazer. Nazer over the right side. He's going to pick up enough for a first down. He has a little bit more. He's at the 10-yard line, and he's brought down at the 5-yard line by Tristan Kaiser. Oh, Nazer almost broke it for another touchdown.
Well, you can see what their philosophy is now. They're just trying to pound the ball. They're running power football. They have double tights in here, trying to just see what they can do off tackle. And Nazer, he's running the ball very, very hard tonight.
So 2 big plays back-to-back for Clarion, sets them up. They are now in the Dubrock red zone inside of the 10-yard line. So first down and goal. Boy, Nazer ran it really well last time. I wouldn't be surprised if he gave it to him again. Here's a low snap to Ferguson. Ferguson around the right side. Yep. He's going to be thrown down for a little bit of a loss by number 22, Aiden Bliss.
It's funny, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it, because basically they tried to run the same play again. Unfortunately, Ferguson kind of fumbled the snap there, and that gave Port Allegany the opportunity to come across the line of scrimmage.
I must see something on that right side, because they've run their first couple plays, started the play at least to the right before the Ferguson decided to cut it back to the left with everything. So second down and goal. Ferguson, the lone guy in the backfield. Twins left, twins right. Puts the man in motion. Here's Ferguson. Rolls to the left. Looking towards the end zone. Has a receiver. That is a touchdown to number 24, Dawson Smale. A 5-yard touchdown reception. And the Wildcats are on the board again.
And again, that was Ferguson rolling to his left, broke containment, and really that was an easy pitch and catch for him.
So Euchre on for the extra point. And that kick is up, and that kick is good. So with the score, 28-6, 9:54 remaining in the third quarter. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with more sports on exploreClarion.com.
Are you a therapist who wants to make a difference? Do you want to help children and families who are struggling with serious behavioral problems? MHY Family Services is looking for therapists to join our new multisystemic therapy psychiatric team. Multisystemic therapy psychiatric is an evidence-based in-home intensive treatment approach that addresses the multiple factors that contribute to a child.
Back at Larry Weiser Field, Euchre kicks the ball off, kicks it through the end zone. Port Allegany will start on their own 20-yard line.
Can't say enough about this Euchre. I think he's had 5 kickoffs and 4 of them have gone in the end zone. What a great weapon to have for Central Clarion to start at the 20-yard line. That's a great weapon.
Watched him in pregame last week against Brookville and was pretty impressed.
Yep. He's done a great job tonight,
so,
plus all the extra points.
Yep. Young man's doing a good job.
4 extra points, all good.
Extra points sponsored by Eric Schick Agency. You can get all your scores on D9, sponsored by the Eric Schick Agency. Here's first down and 10. Wilfong hangs the football off to number 3, Stiles. Stiles trying to get some running room. Nice little gainer, picks up 5 or 6.
Smale and Beckwith. And Brady Quinn.
Brady Quinn on it. A lot of the crowd still remaining here at Central Clarion. Along with our producer, Sean, who drove all the way from Philadelphia to help us put this game on the air tonight. We appreciate that. You attending Drexel or you just live over there? You're attending Drexel right now. Okay,
wow.
Smart kid, too.
Wow.
On top of it.
Impressive.
Here's a handoff to Stiles. Needed to get out to the 30-yard line. It's going to be a little bit short.
Again, Brady Quinn came from his hero position, came up and made that tackle. Brings up a 3rd and 1.
Okay. Port Allegany getting to play in. Certainly no hurry here. Down 28-6. Clarion got on the board here first in the second half. Here's Wilfong looking outside. Or Stiles, that is. I'm sorry. Outside judge coming in.
It's going to be close.
Let's see. Nobody signaling. Now this side judge is signaling first down, so first down.
Yep.
First down is brought to you by Nick's Auto Body tonight. Got another game going on down in Karn City. That's the Karn City Red Bank game. Mike Kalinowski and Bob Dunkel broadcasting down there tonight. This is Bob Dunkel's last football game on the air before he heads to Florida.
Wow.
Thought he was going to change his mind after this week's hurricane down there. So, but Bob's done a great job broadcasting games many, many years with Pat Kale and Mike Kalinowski, so we wish Bob Dunkel the best of luck heading south in Florida. I don't know if we'll have the governor's keys of the game anymore. We'll have to come up. Here's a handoff to Stiles. Staying on the ground.
Stiles once again on the carry.
Little extracurricular activity going on down the field at 40. A couple people tied up down there. A little bit of frustration.
Hyman come up from his middle backer position there to make a nice tackle and a short gain. Looks like a gain of 4.
Yeah, I was down at practice last week, and I got a chance to see him, and he's a presence in the middle there.
And he's young.
Yeah, sophomore.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, and I got a chance to talk to his dad, Mike, a little bit.
Yep.
Who I've known for a long time and everything. So Looks like he's got some potential down the road here with everything. So here's Wilfong, or Bliss in the backfield. High snap goes over top of his head. And Port Allegany's just struggling right now.
Yeah, that's tough. This offense is not made to pick up second and 20s, second and 30s.
Yeah, that's a tough. So this is going to be a long loss on that play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and long. Clock continues to run here in the 3rd quarter, down to 6:31 now. We've got a young sophomore quarterback in there expected to come back from a 28-6 deficit. That makes it really difficult, but I've been impressed with him tonight. He's going to get better and better as time goes on, no doubt about that. Handoff to Bliss. Bliss around the left side. Brought down on the play by number 30. That's Braden Beckwith again.
Again, a pretty conservative call, but one that they picked up close to 10 yards, but it's still 4th and 15, and I doubt that Port would want to try to take a chance here this early in the 3rd quarter. Nope, they're going to punt it.
Braylon Button back to punt the football away. Punts tonight brought to you by Jenny Montgomery Scott. Tonight, high snap again. Here's Button's punt, goes off the side of his foot. It's going to hit about the 30-yard line, go out of bounds at the 34. All the players are looking for the ball, and it's already out of bounds. So Button's punt, as we said, wheels are starting to fall off for Port Allegany on that. Not a real good effort. And the Wildcats will take over. They'll mark it at about the 34-yard line right now.
It's exactly what they did not need, unfortunately. But for Central Clarion, this is where they need to just put the pedal to the metal and just keep on scoring.
DuBois 7, Brockway 7 in the 2nd quarter. Red Bank 21, Carn City 6. That game is now at halftime. Here's Ferguson going to keep it. Up the middle of the field, looking for somewhere to go. Boy, he's got good field awareness, Randy. He just moves left and right, and he can see the open area, and then he cuts to it.
What's impressive about him is not only is he athletic, but he can run, but he can pass. And, you know, when he's running, as we've said several times, to his left, he's still looking downfield and still able to throw very accurately, throwing against his body. That's a rarity.
Well, I tell you what, I got a chance to see him in the District 9 basketball championships at Tippin Gymnasium. I do public address for those games, and always saw the CL team out there. And, wow, what a presence he was.
Yep.
Here's Ferguson looking downfield. He's got an open receiver. He had number 24 down there. That's Dawson Smale, but just off his fingertips that time.
Yep.
But some pretty good athletes down there, you know, on that District 9 team. I think Tommy Smith was on that team. Chase Ferguson was on that team. I know I'm probably missing somebody else, but they gelled together really, really well. And you can just see Chase just taking command during some of those championship games and everything, so credit to him. Ferguson, quick pass outside.
Nice.
Complete. To Mason Burford. Catches the football. He's going to have enough for a 1st down.
That was just a timing play. Very, very difficult at the high school level. He threw that ball before Burford even turned around.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. That's exactly right.
That was great to see. Great to see timing like that. That's something you've had to work on all summer.
Noah Harrison in the backfield for the Wildcats. First Ferguson. Steps back, looking for receiver. He's got one. Cohen Kemmer in the end zone for another touchdown. That one is going to go 19 yards.
And again, Ferguson just stepped in the pocket. He had a lot of time here to look over the field. He saw the Kemmer cutting across the middle. Threw a dime in there, threw it right on stride. It was a great pass, great catch, and a great play.
So they'll give him 18 yards. Touchdown on the play. The ball's down, kick is up, and the kick is good. Euchard with another one. That's his total. So with the score, with 4:20 to go, the score now Central Clarion 35, Port Allegany 6. We'll take a timeout.
I chose MPRC because it was great to have a local, affordable option here in northwestern Pennsylvania. I live in this community and I wanted to stay in this community.
Learn more at discovernprc.org.
With so much to protect each day, Eric Schick Insurance and Financial Services is here to help you find the right coverage that fits your life. Call 814-275-2210 to learn more.
Back at Larry Weiser Field, Wildcats kick off. Ball's taken about the 4-yard line.
Kaiser on the return.
Looks like Kaiser on the return. Gets it out to about the 15-yard line, maybe 13-yard line. So pretty pass from Jace Ferguson to Cone Kemmer. Went 18 yards on that play.
You talked about that CL basketball team, and one of the things that I found out tonight right before the game was Tommy Smith kind of tweaked a knee, and he's not dressed tonight, and I talked to him right before the game, number 8. He hopes to be back soon, and great kid, and certainly Clarion can't wait to get him back.
Here's Bliss again. Ball comes loose. Jace Ferguson picks up that football, and he's going to run into the end zone for a touchdown. Jace Ferguson, 15-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown at the 4:03 mark. Boy, talk about the guy being at the right place at the right time. Jace Ferguson, 15-yard fumble recovery. Randy, you see it on there on the screen now.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Ryan Smith was right in the middle at the official, and I thought he stopped the play. He put his hands up in the air, and I think what he was trying to do is just get out of the way.
Here's Euchre on for the extra point. That kick is up. That kick is good.
Extra point. Down the center.
So with the score now, Central Clarion 42, Port Allegany 6. Let's take a timeout. You're listening to exploreClarion.com.
You know what a running clock is?
Zockrell Motor Truck Sales in Clarion is an International Diamond Ed certified service department. As one of only 276 such shops in all of North America, you can be sure that when your medium or heavy-duty truck needs service, the job will be done correctly at Zockrell Motors. Our work is guaranteed nationwide at any international truck dealer, and our parts and service prices can't be beaten. Our technicians are factory trained and factory certified. Don't trust a shop that just thinks that they can make repairs. Come to Zockrell Motors Diamond Edge Certified Service Department. If it's maintenance you need, click ZockrellMotors.com or call us for a quote on those jobs too. Our prices are great. Best of all, you know.
That's 5. That's amazing.
Back at Larry Weiser Field. That's Euchre. Kicks another one in the end zone.
What is that, number 5 now for touchbacks?
I think so.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
for a
he's
high
done a
school
great
kid
job.
in a small school, that's impressive.
Hey, do you know what year he is?
I do
Got to
not.
get a hold of Coach Monica here up at the university. He's a really key weapon.
Euchre is a junior.
Okay. It's all right. We got a whole year to figure out
Yep.
what he wants to major in. Maybe
Yeah.
sports management.
Yeah, there you
How
go.
about that? All right, Port Allegany. Now on a running clock. Central Clarion up 42-6. The differential is 35, and we got a running clock. Here's a hand. Here's Wilfong.
Styles on the carry, brought down by
Or it is Styles now, number 3. Tries that right side. Really nothing there. Styles comes up a little lame on that play.
This is where it becomes really, really difficult for Port Allegany. Clarion's just coming with their ears pinned back, and Port Allegany just has to suck it up here and just try to get some tough yards, especially with a young quarterback.
Yeah, that's going to be really tough,
Yep.
but it's a good
learning lesson.
It is a good learning
Yep.
lesson.
And the coaching staff at Port Allegany is a great staff. I'm sure they'll keep these kids fired up. They'll keep them working hard. They're a very well-coached team.
Here's Wilfong. He's going to keep the ball, try the middle, nothing there. Clarion right in on it once again. They just have them shut down in the middle.
This is where the yards become difficult now.
Brings up a 3rd and 10.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 10. Ball at the 20-yard line for the Gators. Once again on a running clock. Going to keep it going. Wilfong back to pass. 3-step drop. He's going for it. Trying to send it downfield, and the pass is going to fall incomplete. A penalty flag on the play.
Yeah.
Burford back there.
You know, if I'm a coach there, I can't criticize Burford. He had inside position there. He kept his inside position. Unfortunately, the ball was thrown a little bit short. With his inside position, he wouldn't allow the receiver to come back for the ball. That's why the pass interference was called.
Pass interference. Our penalties tonight being brought to you by Red Bank Chevrolet. And once again, our third quarter being brought to you by Zockerl Motors.
Brings up a 1st and 10, Port Allegany. Ball spotted at the 35-yard line. They have the Wildcat. Bliss on the ball carrier and stopped for no gain.
I want to thank a couple of our sponsors. Land Pro Equipment, located on 7852 Route 66 in Fairmont City. Land Pro Equipment is your local full-service John Deere dealer. Kerle Tire Company. The Cooper Discover's AT3s, our most trusted tire line, is now better than ever and available in 3 new models. They're designed for reliability and durability to venture pavement and back roads. A Cooper mileage warranty of 65,000 miles on those tires. So go see Kerle Tires.
Wilfong back in at quarterback, and he hands off for a short gain.
That clock continues to run, Randy. 51 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Looks like Stiles was the ball carrier there. No gain, maybe a short gain. Brings up a 3rd and 9.
Also want to thank Bauer Wagner Properties. Whether you're looking for long-term stay, short-term stay, or a commercial unit, Bauer Wagner Properties is the right property for you. Be sure to check them out. Their new jacuzzis, suites on 5th Avenue in Clarion. Thank all of our wonderful sponsors for helping us put these games on the air. Here's Wilfong. Passes the ball out, trying to do something with Peyton Stiles. Stiles out the ball, and he's just swarmed by that Wildcat defense that time.
They tried to run a little bubble screen there. Charlie Heffel again came up hard, fought, trying to keep his outside leverage. Ended up turning the play back into Smale and Hyman. And that's the end of the third quarter.
The Wildcats up. We're going to take a timeout. Thank more of our sponsors with the score 42-6. Central Clarion on top. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with more action right after this.
What college is seen as and how college works is changing. Students are concerned with debt.
Through scholarships and grants, I didn't pay anything last year. They even paid for my books. You can't beat it. Like, why would I say no to that?
Clarion Forest VNA believes the emotional and physical well-being of a patient is enhanced by the patient receiving care in the familiar surroundings of home. Their staff of caring professionals work closely with physicians to administer quality care to meet the needs of each individual. As a pioneer in home health care in Clarion and Forest County, Clarion Forest VNA continue to grow to meet the community's need for in-home care, offering many different services and programs to meet the patient's need. Clarion Forest VNA, located at 271 Perkins Road in Clarion. Call us toll-free at 1-800-262-2118.
Back at Larry Weiser Field, Dave Katis along with Randy Cathcart. Port Allegany has the ball, and it's going to be punted away by Braden Babcock. Babcock's kick taken at about the 35-yard line. Dawson Smale with it. Good coverage by the Port Allegany Gators that time. On Smale, down at the 30-yard line. They pick him up. And Central Clarion will take over.
This will be the time I'm guessing that you're going to see Noah Nazer and the ground game coming strong and seeing what Central Clarion can do on the ground here. I'm thinking they'd like to run some time off from a running clock.
I agree with you. Here's Ferguson. Stands at his 25, hands the ball off to Noah Harrison. Noah Harrison around the right side, makes a cut. Gets up to the 35-yard line.
You said you met Noah Harrison when
his mother was 7 months pregnant.
I don't think he's much taller now than he was then.
Oh, I knew that was coming. I knew. I can't tell you how many times he's around. He changed his hair, too. He's got blonde hair now. All of a sudden, I said, he come up to me the other day in practice when I was down at practice and said, Mr. Katis, I'm looking around, and I look down, and there he is right
And he's
there.
got a mustache,
He
too.
does got a mustache. It's a big thing. I think I remember seeing what the baseball team had all their hair dyed this year and everything, too. It's like, holy Toledo.
Yep.
You know, so you got a lot of different looks all over the place, basically. That Red Bank game down at Karn City in the third quarter now. It's Red Bank 35, Karn City 6. Here's Ferguson, keeps the ball with a big stiff arm. Jace Ferguson gets over the 40-yard line to the 30-yard line of Port Allegany. Boy, that was a heck of a run. That was a heck of a run. One of the best ones we've seen so far in the first couple games. You're going to get a chance to see it again on the replay. Here's Ferguson around the right side. Go ahead, Randy.
He just had a stiff arm here and pushed this kid aside, number 15, and ran down the field. It just showed his athleticism and his feet, how quick his feet are.
Tristan Kaiser just got stiff-armed and pushed out of the way. So good running by Ferguson.
That was one of the best of the night there. That was a good one.
All right, so I'm up 42-6. I don't know if I want my starting quarterback running all over the place.
I'm thinking the same thing.
You know? So let's see. We got trips to the left. We got all kind of confusion on the left side. We're still trying to get this figured out. And currently Coach Eagleton calls a timeout. So is penalty flag on the play? Did they call a penalty?
They got a penalty too. It's either delay a game or they call a timeout. Which one?
Delay a game against the
Delay a game.
Marching back 5 yards.
A lot of confusion there, and they had trips on the left side, and no one was on the line of scrimmage. So either way, they were going to get a penalty there if they didn't call a timeout.
Boy, Randy, second quarter score, Punxsutawney 50, Kane 0.
Wow.
In the second quarter.
Wow.
That's
surprising.
That's a tough one, yeah. Punxsutawney must be have a little bit something here going. First down and 15 for the Wildcats. Ferguson back to pass, looking for receivers. Got Burford at the 22-yard line, complete. Brought down by number 22, Aiden Bliss. He's been the workhorse for Port Allegany. He's been limping around a little bit, and he's at his nose in a lot of tackles tonight.
Yeah, I don't
Give
know if
him
that's
a lot of credit.
If that's Burford's fourth catch. He told me he was going to have 4 grabs tonight. So if that's his fourth catch, then I got to give him his dues.
You getting him donuts or something, or
I don't
what's
know.
the deal here? 9 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Ferguson, second down and short. Barking out the play. Hands the football off. Is that Harrison?
Yeah.
That's Josh. No, that's Nazer.
Nazer, yeah. Yep.
Out near the first down, and that's going to be enough for a first down. So Noah Nazer
Initial contact freer.
on the carry.
Yeah, I think we're in that mode now. That let's just end this, try to get this game done, and let's end up clean and not get anybody hurt. And look forward to next week.
I think they're going to probably finish off this drive, try to get maybe another one here, and then empty the benches. I can see a bunch of kids on the bench starting to tighten those helmets and chin straps and everything else. So, first down and 10. Ball at the 20. Here's Ferguson. They're throwing deep to Burford, and the ball falls incomplete. Good defensive play.
Pass incomplete for Burford.
Yeah.
You want to think Jace maybe checked that at the line. Huh?
I hope so. I'm just not sure why we're throwing the ball up 30 points.
Yeah,
That's
I've
a
heard
tough
this
one.
a few times this season already in the first short 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I hate to second guess any coach, but it's a young team you got, and Port Allegany obviously has fought hard. You don't want to embarrass your opponent. You certainly want to handle it with respect.
Well, there was a team last week that I think onside kicked up 42-0, I heard.
Wow.
So I don't want to point anybody out here, but one of the things you just don't do.
Timeout.
Timeout, Central Clarion. Turn it over to our crack producer, Sean. With the score, 42-6, 7:33 remaining in the fourth quarter at Larry Weiser Field. Let's take a timeout and thank a few of our sponsors. We'll be back right after this.
He's on the 30. He's on the 20. He's on the 10. It's a touchdown.
There's nothing like football. The lights, the cheers of the crowd, and getting a chance to see our local athletes and kids give it all they've got. Come to a game. Support our local schools. Clarion County Community Bank. A better way to bank. Member FDIC. Visit us online at ClarionBank.com.
Back at Larry Weiser Field. Keystone up on Union AC Valley 13-3. That score just came in. Second down and 10. Here's Ferguson. Hands that football off.
Wow.
To Quinn. Penalty flag on the play. Quinn takes it down to about the 10-yard line. Tackled down there once again by number 22, Aiden Bliss.
Dave, I just got something on D9 Sports that said the game was called, the Red Bank Carson City game was called at the 7:53 mark in the third quarter. Red Bank wins 35-6. There was a serious injury, and I believe they called the game because of it.
Oh, wow.
Thank
Didn't
you,
hear
Kim.
about that.
Face mask.
Kim Constantino gave me that information. Thank you,
Wow.
Kim.
We got our crew down there. Mike Kalinowski and Bob Dunkel in our crew down at Carson City, so maybe we could try to communicate with those guys, see what happened down there, see if I can get a text message to them. I'd like to be brought up to date a little bit. You never want to see that happen.
No. That's why I say we just hope to get out of this game clean and look forward to playing next week, and that's coming from both sides of the ball. We don't want to get anybody hurt here tonight.
Quinn on the carry. Picked up about 6 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. So second down and goal at the 5-yard line. Here's Ferguson. He's got Quinn in the backfield. He's got Dawson Smale in the backfield. Ferguson keeps it up over the 5, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Jace Ferguson on a 5-yard touchdown run.
Just another update from that Red Bank Carson City game. I was just informed that there was a medical helicopter that was taken, asked to fly in to take the patient. So we wish best wishes for that injured football player there and everybody that was involved.
Absolutely. Zuckert on for the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So Central Clarion extends their lead now on the evening to 49-6. So, with 6:15 remaining in the football game, let's take a timeout. We'll be back with more action right after this on exploreClarion.com.
Looking for a new Bobcat tractor? Northeastern Equipment Sales and Rentals has inventory on the lot, ready to be loaded up so you can get to work on tough jobs. Check out Bobcat of Clarion at 1214 East Main Street in Clarion.
Back at Larry Weiser Field. Kickoff to Port Allegany. See who returned that. Kaiser on the return, brought down. Tonight's game being brought to you by the Haskell House, the area's premier event venue located conveniently on downtown Clarion's Main Street. Whether you're getting married for the first time, second time, or third time, that's a great ad. The Haskell House is a perfect location for your big day. If you're getting married for the first time, second time, or third time. The Haskell House is also available for bridal showers, baby showers, business meetings, and much, much more. Contact the Haskell House.
We've got a lot of new faces in there, Dave, and that's good to see.
Why don't you take over the play-by-play with all these new faces? Let's see. It's tough with these lights and everything trying to figure out who's in there. Let's see. We'll do the best we can, folks. It's number 1. It looks like Julian Capel down there.
Brendan Bracken made the tackle.
Okay, you do the Clarion guys.
All right.
I'll take care of the
Okay.
Port Allegany guys. Let's see who's back there. 14.
See Jacob Nazer's in there. Number 75's in there. Braylon Carrier. Let's see 22. Ethan Rex is in there. 32. Alex Love.
There's a snap taken by number 30. Aiden Smith.
Tackled by Braden Carrier.
Okay, these are all your guys the last couple of years.
Had many of these guys. It's good to see them.
So bring up a third down and 12. Liam Haver in there at wide receiver for the Gators. Bunch of new offensive linemen. We'll try to mention as many names as we can. Quarterback can't quite get his number. He's pretty far away. Is that 24?
Tackled
Jake
by
Causer. Yeah, Jake Causer in there at quarterback.
Tackled by number 62, Brendan Bracken. Brendan was a junior high kid last year.
Okay.
It's good to see him.
4th down and 12. Looks like Causer's back to punt this football away. Running clock, 3:46. High snap, and Causer just gets it off. Goes off the side of his foot, goes out of bounds near the 25, 28-yard line.
Okay, and it looks like I see some new faces for the varsity, or for the second group, too.
Got all the excited guys out there. Look at them all out there at the 35-yard line. Tonight's game being brought to you by Land Pro Equipment, located at 7852 Route 66 in Fairmont City. Your local John Deere dealer, Kerle Tire Company. Discover the Cooper's AT3s, our most trusted tire. It is now better than ever. Learn more about reliable Discover AT3s at CooperTire.com.
See, Ethan Rex is now quarterback for the Central Clarion Wildcats.
Okay. Travel on tires you can trust. That's Kerle Tire. Shop local. Shop Tire Company located at 1283 Mays Road. Here's Rex. Gets out of 1.
He can run.
Got a lot of speed on the right side. Rex down to the 15-yard line. He's at the 10-yard line, and he falls into the end zone for a touchdown.
He can run.
28-yard touchdown run at the 2:57 mark.
He just broke containment and turned on the Jets. Had one chance to stiff arm an opponent and dove into the end zone.
At the 2:57 mark of the fourth quarter. So first play for the young guys.
They're going for 2.
And they're going to go for 2. Alex Love in the backfield. Here's Rex. Hands that ball off to Love. Dragging people with him. Is he in? He is. 2-point conversion.
Rex hands it off to Alex Love.
Alex Love. 2-point conversion.
Another junior high football player from last year's undefeated team. Alex Love.
It's all coaching, isn't it?
It's all coaching.
All coaching.
Yep.
Score now extended to 57-6. Wow. pretty big turn of events.
Yeah, I knew this was going to be a good game, but if you would have said it would have turned out to be this lopsided, I wouldn't have believed it. I would have thought that the Port Allegany would have been able to keep it a little bit closer, and unfortunately the wheels fell off in the second half. And
yeah, just put us where we're at because Port Allegany got on board in the first quarter at the 10:25 mark. Aiden Bliss on a 2-yard touchdown run. They took the lead 6-0 and haven't been basically on the board since. There's been 57 unanswered points on that. But, you know, like we'll talk about in the postgame, Randy, Port Allegany will bounce back. There's no doubt about that. A lot of young guys on that football field. Kick ends up going to Kellen Villeneuve, and he falls right at the 5-yard line, where the Gators will now start this drive.
Am I calling you?
Yeah, you were calling me.
I don't know how that happens.
So, real deep back there right now. They just want to pound it through, see if we can break one, see if the Gators can get upfield, pick up a few first downs with their young group, and tell all the young guys they all have fresh jerseys on.
Yep.
Basically. Same thing on defense. So, here's Klauser. Takes the ball, moves to the middle of the field, holds on to that football, picks up a few.
Tackled by Thomas Ferguson, number 70.
Hard running.
Thomas Ferguson in on the tackle.
Klauser's 11th grader. Lots of substitutions. The clock continues to run. At the 2-minute mark in the fourth quarter. Glad to have you with us. Dave Katis and Randy Cathcart. We're going to have our post-game show coming up here shortly. Give you a little recap. Maybe get some stats for you from Noah Archer, our crack stat guy.
Rex.
Klauser hands that football off to number 1. That is Julian Capel.
Tackled by Ethan Rex. Came up from his, I think he was a safety and came up and made the tackle. Made a good tackle, good form tackle. Coaches will be happy to see that.
So we got a 3rd down and 10. Jake Klauser at quarterback. Hands the football off. True has it.
I think there was a fumble in the play.
Big, massive humanity down there around the 5-yard line.
I think Central Clarion got the ball back.
Yeah, I think you're right, Randy. Port Allegany fumbles the ball. Clarion will take over at their 5-yard line with 54 seconds remaining on a running clock. Everybody's got a different term for this formation. What do you guys call this?
Victory.
Victory formation.
Victory formation. Okay. Take a knee.
So Rex in a quarterback, going to let the clock wind down. He'll take a knee.
Yep.
With 34 seconds remaining in the game. And that should just about do it right there. Our final score from Larry Weiser Field. The Central Clarion Wildcats 57, the Port Allegany Gators 6. We'll be back with the post-game show, sponsored by the Funback. We'll talk a little bit about some stats, winging it, our protection player of the game, the drive of the game, player of the game, and something to build on, which both teams are going to need. And we'll be back with all that after an extended timeout. You're listening to exploreClarion.com.
Hey, Julie, nice deck. Did you get that at Tio Nesta Builder Supply?
It's Nesta Builder Supply, and yes, Dave, I did.
Wonder if they sell siding and roofing at Tio Nesta Builder Supply.
It's Nesta, and yes, Nesta Builder Supply has that too. Come on, Dave. You've never been there? They have 2 showrooms for anything home improvement. Mom got a custom kitchen there. Bill down the street got the materials for his garage. They have this awesome website, www.tionestabuilders.us. You can buy online. They really have everything for the home.
Wow, I'm heading over to Tio Nesta. I know. Tionesta Builders.
Tionesta Builder Supply Home Improvement Center, family owned and operated since 1958, with locations in Tionesta and Shippenville.
That sounds good. I'll check them out online at tionestabuilders.us.
Locally owned and operated, Hager Paving of Strattonville provides a range of services: hot mix asphalt, cold patch asphalt, tar and chipping, and seal coating. Hager Paving's reputation in business is based on customer service, referrals, and your satisfaction. Serving residential, commercial, industrial, and local municipalities throughout Western Pennsylvania, exceptional service, exceptional quality. That's Hager Paving of Strattonville. Call 814-764-5080. That's 814-764-5080 for Hager Paving.
We're on.
Back at Larry Weiser Field. We're back on.
Yep.
That's good. Final score. They took the score off the scoreboard. Jeez, oh man, 57-6. The Central Clarion Wildcats defeating Port Allegany tonight. And Randy, we got a post-game show brought to you by the Fun Bank. The Fun Bank, visit the Fun Bank and everything else. So pretty big push by the Central Clarion Wildcats to stay on top of the league, and made a pretty good statement tonight with everything.
Boy, they sure did. You know, coming into this game, you knew these were 2 really good teams. You knew that both teams were coming off of big wins. I really thought it was going to be a show of who had the ability to stop the other team, and as it turned out, Central Clarion just had too much firepower.
Our Winging It throw of the game, sponsored by Sweet Basil Restaurant, and I think we're going to give it at the 3-minute mark of the first quarter a 51-yard touchdown reception and pass from Jace Ferguson to Brady Quinn extended Clarion's lead to 21-6. So we want to thank Sweet Basil Restaurant for the Winging It throw of the game. I think that was the best one of the game. The protection player of the game. I think both lines coming into this game, you were going to roll the dice on Port Allegany's offensive line, or you were going to roll the dice on Clarion's line, Randy. And the offensive line kept Jace Ferguson pretty well clean all night. And so I think
I agree.
You want to elaborate on their offensive line?
I think Central Clarion's line did a great job not only keeping Jace Ferguson clean, allowing him to scramble, allowing him to run to his left, and that's where he did his damage. And you know, you can't say enough about Jace Ferguson, but you also have to give credit to their line. They gave him time to throw all night, and several times he was standing in the pocket waiting for his receiver to clear.
Well, the drive of the protection player of the game brought to you by Eric Schick Agency. The drive of the game brought to you by Clarion Ford. And I guess if I really want to read into this a little bit, I think we had 2 drives of the game. First at the 10:25 mark, Port Allegany got the ball after the kickoff, and Aiden Bliss, a 2-yard run, got them on top by a score of 6-0. They missed the extra point. But the drive that I think wins the drive of the game is the one that they answered. The Central Clarion answered with a 38-yard touchdown from Jace Ferguson to Mason Burford. So the drive of the game, basically sponsored by Clarion Ford. 2 drives of the game in my mind with everything. So player of the game.
There's no doubt in my mind. The one person that's in the press box right now being interviewed by the other radio station here is Jace Ferguson. He head and shoulders, to me, was the best athlete on the field. Not only did he throw the ball with great accuracy, at times he ran the ball when he needed to, took care of the ball, was a great leader on the field, also had an interception at a key time of the game, dominated the game, and we can't say enough how athletic he is on the field, how he controls the team, and where he goes, this offense goes with him.
Absolutely. So player of the game is sponsored by Hager Paving, and we'll get Jason a T-shirt at some point here with everything. Sponsored by Hager Paving, something to build on. I think both teams now, I think Clarion, Central Clarion looks at this as, hey, man, we're pretty good. Mm-hmm. We got to keep doing all the right things. We need to go to class. We got to make sure we're not making mistakes. Yep. Do the right things.
Yep.
You know, make sure you get something to eat. You get plenty of sleep. You do all those big things, because I think they got something special here on this football team. And Port Allegany, a lot of young guys. Like I said, all 4 guys that touched the ball, this is their sophomores. It's only the second game they've ever touched the football.
Yep.
And I think they have a long way to go, but there's a lot of great potential on the Port Allegany Gator team.
Yep, pretty impressed with their sophomore quarterback. For his size, he threw the ball very well tonight. Was under duress most of the night, but when he threw the ball, he put it in a good position, and a couple of times those balls were, either just barely dropped, or somebody would get a hand in to deflect the pass. But he was very accurate for a sophomore quarterback. That's asking a lot.
Something to build on, sponsored by Ty and Esther Builder, and the postgame show sponsored by the Fun Bank. And lastly, Randy, looking ahead to next week, Central Clarion taking on Union AC Valley next week.
Well, it's interesting because each week raises new questions. You certainly want to game plan and do all these things. Central Clarion coming into their second game, they had something to prove. They were kind of disappointed with their performance against Brookville. They thought that they could do better. Tonight they righted the ship, in my mind. They made some great plays when they had to, played pretty stout defensively, and they've proved they're a good team. They're a very good team.
Well, our stats tonight were brought to you by Laurel Eye Clinic, and we tried to get as many of those to you as I could during the first half with everything. But my guy Noah Archer,
I saw him walking across the field.
Yeah, he might be on his way up here last minute trying to get it in.
Either that or he got a hot dog, one or the other. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, after he played last year on this team, he was talking how good they were, and then all of a sudden, things didn't work out, and they just faced a really good team tonight with everything. So that's the big thing. Well, in closing, wait a minute. We got the last-minute stats from my man
There
Noah.
we are.
Okay, here we go. Passing, Ferguson, 12 for 16 for 189 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Wow.
And he ran one in 2. Rushing, Noah Nazer, 3 carries for 72 yards. So big night by Noah Nazer for Clarion. Jace Ferguson also carried the ball 4 times for 41 yards and a TD. Noah Harrison, 2 carries for 11 yards on the evening. And Brady Quinn, 2 carries for 10 yards on the evening. Receiving, looks like Ethan Rex, 29-yard touchdown, in the game. And number 8, Cohen Kemmer, 2 receptions for 20 yards. Burford, 3 receptions for 67 yards and a TD. And Mason Burford, 5 receptions for 76 yards and a TD. So pretty good output on that for Port Allegany. Wilfong, 8 for 16 for 126 yards on the evening. Peyton Stiles carried the ball 16 times for 55 yards. He probably wanted to get a little more out of that. Aiden Bliss also, number 22, 14 carries for 52 yards. Receiving, Bliss was the man. We kept talking about Aiden Bliss all night being everywhere, and he put on a pretty good performance. 4 receptions for 76 yards on the evening. And Peyton Stiles, 4 receptions for 51 yards on the evening. So, once again, thank you to Noah Archer for keeping our statistics tonight. We really appreciate it. and we'll see you in class on Tuesday, okay? So we have that.
Don't be late.
Want to thank everybody involved with the broadcast tonight. Aiden Weber, Chase Steinman, Sean, our big producer from Drexel. We got a really good one here and everything. We look forward to working with you again. And Randy Cathcart, thanks for stepping in and being the color guard tonight.
My pleasure.
We really appreciate that an awful lot. So we're going to sign off from Larry Weiser Field. Once again, folks, we'll see you next week from I believe, Keystone, where we'll have the Brookville and Keystone game. But tonight's final score from Larry Weiser Field, the Central Clarion Wildcats 57, Port Allegany 6. Everybody have a great, safe Labor Day weekend.